5, 4, 3.
All right. And we are live. Flashpoint with LordCognito.
The OG listeners understand what on earth that is.
Flashpoint is back, man. I know y'all thought this was the last word today. Now, shout out to Trav, shout out to the homies. But we are back fresh on that Thursday evening campfire. Got my man, the Cheetah Ebontis. Like a throwback, man. It's a throwback episode. The kids are out. we get to hang out. We don't have to supervise. Now, shout out to Trav, though. What's up, E? What's going on?
Gonna hang out with the Cheetah here.
Oh, we got the classic. Is this the merch? Is this the official merch?
No, I got this from the Dallas Zoo, actually, when I went there. So, if there was an official Ebontis Cheetah, yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, probably not. I don't even have a official shirt yet, so I probably should work on basic stuff before that. But Flashpoint talking about those 2 tokens and a blue. Yeah, it's like
episode. Oh man,
that was brutal.
Those are OG listeners, man.
Yeah, so for those of you guys out here who are listening on audio, it is just Cognito and I today. Travis is busy. We don't have a guest. Stay tuned on IGN. You're gonna want to watch IGN's website probably early, sometime next week. Stay tuned. He's definitely working on something. Can't talk about it, but yeah. So he is basically gonna live in that for a minute. So you just got us. But our podcast, before we switched over to the last word, we were called Flashpoint. And then we realized that was taken by esports team or something like that. I think that's what it was. And we were like, okay, so we got to figure out something else. So we're different. Then we ended up doing the last word, checked with Scaro, who had that kind of before us.
Back you up a second. Back you up 1 second, because you're right. Remember, we did a poll to the community.
Yeah.
And actually, last word was in the name bracket. You know who else co-signed that we should do last word? Hogue Law. Yeah. Hogue found us and was like, yo, I like last word for you guys. And but continue to start. Then you get to where you are now with Scaro.
Yeah. And then Scaro, we realized we looked up last word, saw that he had actually done something like that, but it had been a while since he had kind of taken up that mantle, so he kind of gave us the okay, so knighted us as the last word co-host, and we've had him on plenty of times, so of course it's fun. But yeah, so we used to be called the Flashpoint, but yeah, the last word holds its place. So yeah, a little last word lore, if you will. There you go.
Yeah, you got some lore. You got some
ridiculousness to it, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, so just us two tonight. Wanted to take a second, how's Cog doing? How is just my man Cog? No one's gonna be talking over you. Nobody's gonna be arguing with you. Nobody to worry about. Just you and me. I want to get in. And how is Cog doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I mean, I've been busy as hell, but I've been good. My main thing right now, to be brutally honest, is that it's about trying to knock out as much as I can before Lightfall. That's where I'm at.
I totally get it.
Yeah, because I know what's going to happen. And I've been warning Maddie. I've been warning. I said, look.
I'm listening to you guys.
I don't really care about what's going on and releasing. That's great. When it happens, I am going to lock into Lightfall. Something crazy. So for the most part, I've gotten everything I needed right now out of the current season of the Seraph. I got most of the god rolls I want. There's only one thing I do need that I didn't realize was that they were doing all the old hub stuff. Where for example, with a everything in the helm from a nightmare containments, I never got me a good what is it, hollow denial, the void trace. The void trace.
You just need to unlock the frame.
Yeah, so big, but I don't got any good rolls. So what I'm looking for is I want the left from gold with a killing tally. And I want to focus on that. So that's probably the last thing. I do gotta finish up what's the boring exotic post? Revision.
Oh, revision 0.
Yeah, I gotta finish that up. But other than that, it's just been knocking out games. So I had Crisis Core on my list.
Nice.
I've been wanting to do. I'm a huge Final Fantasy 7. That's one of the.
Literally just finished it a few days ago.
Yeah, that was one of the few ones I missed. And I know pretty much everything about Final Fantasy 7 lore. So I was doing that and learning about this action, bro. The feels, bro. No, this was one of those.
So would you play that before you play?
Yes.
Is that a prequel to 7 remake? Not Rebirth, but remake even.
No, it's a prequel to both.
Okay.
It's literally, yeah, what happened. So if you're a purist for Final Fantasy VII, the original, this is the actual prequel. You learn about Zack, you learn the history of the Buster Sword, you learn about Sephiroth earlier and all this other stuff. But I knew what was going to happen because it was spoiled to me, but it still didn't minimize the impact of what happened. I'm like,
Damn.
hey, yo. I'm messed up. I had to call Addict is like my Final Fantasy VII lore nerd. So I'm like, bro, like it went down. Like that's crazy. So yeah, it's so much. And then obviously I don't think you did remake, right? You didn't do
I haven't
remake,
played
right?
it yet. No.
Okay, so remake, without spoiling,
Yeah.
they do something so bold in the history of video game for a classic franchise that now I have to know what happened. So that's my next anticipated game. Hopefully at the
Is
end of the year,
Rebirth
PlayStation.
like to know?
Yeah, if PlayStation knocks that out at the end of this year, I have to go get that. That is one of my favorite series. So I've
Yeah,
been
they
doing
said
that.
what winter, so I mean that could be December to like February, so it could easily be a start of the year. Because I mean, right now the expectation is Spider-Man's February. No,
Yeah,
Spider-Man's like fall, which
fall,
goes
fall.
through like November. So if you get close,
hmm
something that big, I feel like it's
hmm
got to go February, squeak into March, so it's technically winter, but it's
That's what you
like
said.
a little far enough, kind of in that time we're about to get slammed with now,
hmm
where everybody
hmm
wants to put games again, is where I feel like it should probably go. So
No, absolutely, absolutely. We'll see what's up. But I've been doing that. Next up is probably Hi-Fi Rush. I'm gonna get
I'm
that
curious
going.
about that. Yeah, it's gotten reviewed really,
Yeah,
really well, so people are enjoying it.
yeah.
I'm curious. I'm not always like I haven't played Undertale and
hmm
there's another one that's kind of like that, but yeah, just the rhythm based is. I mean, I played like Guitar Hero, decent amount. So it was like it could, but I was like, I just haven't jumped in. I've been trying to get through stuff too. So
I know where you're at. The only advice I would give you, which is great, is the rhythm stuff is additive. It is not like
yeah,
if you get something wrong, it prevents you from doing something. And then what I learned, honestly, is I took off the UI where this help UI to kind of make you stay on beat kind of thing. Take it off, just play. It is amazing. So I got that going on. And mind you, I was supposed to play Deathloop, but it's Maddie's fault because I said, Maddie, I want to play Deathloop after I beat Crisis Core. He's like, come on, I want to do a spoiler cast about Hi-Fi Rush. So I'm like, you got to tell the whole LSM community because they on me about Deathloop. And I'm like, I really want to play Deathloop because I want to really talk crap to him
I'm
because he
I
slanders
am
it so
very
much.
curious where that one lands for you. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. That's been pretty much it. What about you, man? What's been going on? You still been kind of grinding out
Yeah, I
as we
mean,
get
I'm
in?
pretty good on um bounties, like for my three
Mhm.
characters. I'm mostly prepped, basically just kind of the couple weeklies for the Dreaming City at this point, couple random dailies to fill in. So I'm mostly like Destiny prepped. As I've been doing Iron Banner, I've been going through working on trying to get getting the chainmail shader. So I've just been playing that a little bit.
I gotta get
We've
that.
got more reputation this week, so I've been I've been doing the dailies, and then Momentum Control is actually out there. So I've been kind of going through looking
Mm.
for catalysts that I need to do, and I
Okay.
did Vigilance Wing. I just finished today.
Nice.
Mida Multi Tool, like that catalyst. I was just like trying to do. I finished up.
Mhm.
What is the Cabal Scout Rifle that I cannot
Oh,
remember.
Polaris. Polaris?
No, that one actually we'll get to.
You
Sounds like
mean
it's going to be
the
potential.
one that's like a
Skyburners.
Skyburners,
I
yes.
had like 13% left and I had to go just kill Cabal. And I was like, all right, let me just random things that I was doing. I did a solo flawless Spire attempt and I was on literally my last damage phase and just like literally trying to like cross the room after it was last damage phase and it was just, I died like crossing the room trying to get like the initial like tags to,
Mhm.
yeah. And it was just like,
Ah.
so yeah, that was brutal. I was like, I got to the fans flawless,
Mhm.
did that. Then I got all the way like last damage phase. So I was like, I can do it. It's just
Mhm.
frustrating in the moment to be that close.
That close.
So it
So
was like,
what do you feel is the hardest part trying to solo that? What do you feel? What's the most challenging part?
I mean, honestly, it's it's the final boss room. Everything up to there, like I'm very comfortable
Gotcha.
because top encounter, like on top of the spire, is I've got that thing just down to a rhythm. I'm
You said
using
the fans. Circle
the
sensation.
fans can be a pain in the ass. They definitely can be a
Mhm.
pain. They got me once. They got me on a flawless one time earlier. So, but it's the final boss room. It's just the coordination of you and everything's looking at you. So whether it's the boss just trying to coordinate and get everything. Like I know it's like, hey, if I hit this one, then I know when I run in the room, I know which 3 I've got to hit. Like I've done it so much, I know what's going on. I've got the rhythm. It's just like it's like most things. You get a little greedy and be like, okay, and it's like trying to make sure enough of the ads are cleared because it's the supplicants that will ruin you. And then it's the moment where it's like a supplicant might be near you and you don't know some of like 3 or 4 waves of the boss fire are coming at you at the same time. And it's just like bam, bam, and you're done. And it's that fast. So, I mean, you could have 100 resilience. You could have void resistance on. You could have melee, which is like close proximity. All that on, still dead. So, yeah, I mean, if I can get through like 8 damage phases, like just got to do 1 more of them. So yeah, it's like if I can do that many phases, it's not that big of a deal.
What else?
Been playing Rogue Legacy 2, so it's kind of a roguelike. A buddy of mine played it, told me it was good. Just jumping through. It's a nice one where basically every time you go through, you get a little progression, a little bit of unlocks. So it's one of those to where, I mean, Hades we both really enjoyed, like my friend and I did, and Hades is fantastic. And this one's just kind of it's a fun little roguelike, but there's enough little secrets, there's enough little unlocks, you get different classes you can play with, a bunch of different kind of powers, and there's enough like change and randomness, but there's also, as you like, when you collect gold as you go through a run. When you die, you spend all of that gold and then on upgrades or whatever you can. And if you any gold that you don't spend, you lose it when you come back in. So you literally want to spend everything you can. So you're just kind of upgrading a little bit here and there, but it's just kind of a 2D roguelike. It's fun. And then I'm just kind of looking at everything. Like I want to play Forspoken. Now I know there's a whole it's a whole bundle in and of itself.
There's a whole bunch of controversy going on around it.
But I was like, I want to get my own take on it. Pretty much.
That's
so
why I just to play Deathloop the same way.
Yeah, I was like, I just kind of want to know. I was like, because I played Scorn. By the time I was done, I was just like, yeah, I don't like this. I was like, artists built an like a cool looking world, but like between some of the annoying puzzles, the combat is awful, all of those things. It's a year older, so Returnal is coming to PC. Oh, dude, I want again, this month sucks because Returnal is coming to PC this month. Returnal is so good.
So good. That's good. That's good. That's so up your alley. That is so.
I beat it on PS5. So I beat Returnal on PS5. So I played it before. Just for like aiming, mouse and keyboard, that's where I kind of want the PC. And again, like my buddy has like an ultra wide and it's like HDR. And it's like, I guarantee you somebody with like a bit crazy rig is going to have a really pretty time in Returnal because that game is going to look nice.
Yes.
But yeah, we've got Wild Hearts coming. That's like the Monster Hunter clone. Atomic Hearts on Game Pass. Wolong is... I'm not going to get to touch Wolong because Lightfall's taking it over. Wolong's March 3rd.
Oh, Wolong's bugging.
Wolong's like, see ya. We'll get to you later.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, Wolong's March 3rd. Still is. I mean, Jedi Survivor was March 17th. That got pushed 6 weeks. I know. I'll have some time to get to that one.
Take your time, baby. Take your time.
Exactly.
I was so happy when you got pushed.
I was happy about that one because late April from like late February, 2 months is like, that's usually a low part of a season. It's like, now I can knock out a Jedi Survivor. And that game looks fantastic. And then Dead Space, like freaking getting 9s everywhere. I got EA Play Pro. So I've already I played Need for Speed. Wild Hearts is in there. Dead Space. And then Jedi Survivor. I paid $100 for 4 games that are costing $60 to $70 each.
You could.
No brainer. So it's like, it's like I paid $100 and I know not everybody has it, but it's like if you're going to play 4 games, that's very good value to do it.
Oh yeah, those are what to do.
So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out content for the channel, keeping up with Destiny news, and trying to make sure my characters are kind of prepped. And I'm just like, I'm running through Iron Banner with like crafted weapons that I just need to level up. So I'm not the most beneficial to my team, but I can tell you I'm getting just like every match I get done, I'm getting a little bit of an upgrade. So
same. I'm doing all of my god rolls that I'm just trying to finish up farming. I'm a little disheartened because I worked so hard to get the Fire and Forget, but now
not so much
about to happen.
That one got kind of a double shot.
Yeah. So, but there's a couple other ones that I was just the pulse, the stasis pulse that I really love, aggressive burst. Disparity?
Yes, disparity. Yeah.
Yes, doing that. And then surprisingly, I never had a good waveframe what you call it, solar, the waveframe solar, the one that comes with land tank as an intrinsic origin trait. Oh man, I'm always forgetting the names.
Oh, I don't know the name, but it's
a
the
couple of
solar,
seasons
it's the
ago.
solar waveframe. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, I wanted the auto loading and golden tricorn
Okay.
one. So I'm just working on getting that up so it can go there. And I got a good Judgment of Calgarath overflow close to melee, so I'm good to go.
Explosive
Yes,
personality.
explosive personality. Thank you. Explosive personality. So I've got that. So pretty much, I'm just dotting my I's, crossing my T's with a lot of this stuff. And you know what's actually surprisingly good? Have you got a good prolonged engagement in the kinetic spot? It's like it's basically funnel web in the kinetic spot.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, the stasis one.
Yes.
Kind
of decent
not
one.
great, but I know there can be some very good. I mean, you can get 4 times target lock on that if I remember correctly.
Wait, that come with target lock?
I think that's one of those weird ones. I'm looking it up on Gunsmith. Hold on.
Oh,
If I can multitask this good enough. Hold on.
No, so that's one of those ones that got a lot of rolls.
What's this?
Prolonged engagement.
Yeah. Okay.
Target lock on an SMG.
4 times target lock.
That's crazy. They got Vice Stinger on it, and it has the Vanguard perk.
No, that's the only thing about that though. Is like, like it's got 36 in the mag, so it's like, how much is it really gonna last? Because it's not like a machine gun where you got 100 bullets.
Right. Target lock. Yeah.
You got to reload. Now there's the subsistence target lock. You've got dynamic sway.
Right now, I'm running solo with it, and I'm rolling solo lock, and I got Pugilist heating up. And I like Pugilist on solar lock, so I can whenever I hit somebody with a melee, they get radiant. So I'm getting my melee back like all the time. So I'm liking the flow with it, especially for solar. But it's a lot of good rolls with that, man. It's really cool perk set.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wish Bloodhound or whatever Blood Feud, I think is not Bloodhound, Blood Feud.
Yes.
Blood Feud, just like I use it, and I'm like, could have been better. Just doesn't have the same feel.
Yeah, I got you. But Evelyn says he got one with target lock. It's okay, but not amazing. Okay, yeah, got 4 time. Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense because target lock you kind of need more of a magazine base by maybe to take the full advantage of it. Yeah, I got you. Cool.
Well, we also got a trailer this week.
News. What do you think?
More news. Not the news I thought we were gonna get. I'll be honest.
Really? What you thought? What you thought we was getting?
I thought we were gonna get Strand this week. I really thought we were gonna get a deep dive on Strand, and we got a few teases of like words involved in Strand, like verbs and nouns and stuff, verbiage. But not quite there. One thing for you, by the way, if you want that like hollow denial or something, the void trace, you can craft daily. You can get a red border daily. So to anybody out there, if you're looking to craft a weapon from the helm, this is where this is specific to. Like if you have the helm piece unlocked that gets you you can go craft it. You buy a deep sight that resets daily instead of weekly.
That's huge.
So
that is huge.
Into the season should be able to knock that out. In basically almost most guns that you want to get if you haven't got them already.
Yeah, because I need to get in there, and now I just got to run the nightmare containments to get the actual currency to then. Because I got so many umbrals, it's crazy. I'm ready to craft.
Yeah, it's like 3 for a weapon, I think, because it's 27. So if you're upgraded, 3 runs will get you your daily. So that's not too bad.
Nice. That's not bad.
Yeah,
and that's a quick activity.
Yeah. So yeah, we did get a trailer, and this is kind of the big starting to shove us even more into seeing Lightfall, because we got the environmental trailer, we got the teaser before, and then this week we got the weapons trailer, which is basically the exotics. So it runs through, you get to see sidearm, a little bit more about Quicksilver Storm. We got a Stasis Glaive. Now, one thing I will tell you, if anybody was watching my stream, the trailer, go through and play it at about 160% or about 1.5 times, and then also about 50% speed, because the music changes tone, but it slaps at all 3 speeds. Like,
really?
Yes, it was the weirdest. I was messing with it, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, and then I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. And then all of a sudden I just cranked up the speed, and I'm like banging out. It was just like, and it was just this like EDM jam, but it just like even slower and faster. It also worked. It was kind of hilarious. So definitely mess with the YouTube video, mess with the speed of playback. Sounds actually pretty cool. 2x is a little fast, but 160% and then like 50-60% sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
First thing, just your takeaway
Mhm.
from the weapons and gear trailer. Are you excited about the grouping that we're going to talk about? Are you kind of mid, or are you like thumbs down? Where are you at on
Oh,
where's your gladiator ranking?
yeah. It's there. I wouldn't go all the
Okay.
way. It's like here. There's
It's
two. Yeah,
it's
there's two that I'm.
rising, not
Yeah,
risen.
it's rising. There you go. There you go. The two that really got me. I like the machine gun, which
Yes.
gives you the was it like a volatile,
Weaken
and
on
then
4, volatile on
yes,
16. Yeah.
yes, that looks very interesting, especially now coming off of the legendary machine gun void that got nerfed. That was that had weird traits, but that weren't intended. You know what I'm saying, from this past season. So
Oh,
we
the
got that.
volatile
That looks
going crazy thing. Yeah.
yeah.
We knew that
I'm
was going to get fixed.
very intrigued by the heavy glaive.
Man,
The
that thing is
heavy,
divisive.
real. What's the streets talking about? Let me hear. What streets going
I
on? What
mean,
they
this
saying
is
about it?
just my Twitter thread, so you can take it
Yes.
with every grain of salt possible.
Hmm.
But it's not coming in too exciting for people.
Really? People not feeling it?
Well,
What
it's
they
a heavy
saying?
slot, first up, so you are giving up, heavies, whether it's galley, whether it's sleeper, whether it's the new machine gun, it's your heavy slot. And linears, even though we'll get to those, like there's a lot of things that go there that are good, and this is a
Hmm.
glaive. Not everybody likes
Hmm.
glaives in the first place, and now you're taking up my
It's
heavy
heavy
slot with a
glaive.
glaive.
Hmm.
And your exotic. So now you got 2 legendaries and a glaive in your heavy slot. So people are like, is this gonna be feeling worth it? So this
Hmm.
heavy slot exotic stasis glaive fires a large ball of energy that locks onto nearby targets and freezes them. Now it does look like it shoots projectiles. This is like
Yep.
I think Twitter today, they actually had a little ball, like the ball will roam, like heads in a direction, and then when it explodes, it'll like shoot little projectiles to slow, but it looks like when it, like the blast hits the big one, it's like a freeze, like a big freeze.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
I
Interesting.
mean,
Nah,
what do you
yeah.
normally run in your heavy?
Prior to the nerf, it was usually a linear, so I could have some flexibility with some exotics in other spots. If not, good old tried and true. What's yeah, the what you call it one, the heavy machine gun that is the quickest, the one from the dungeon. Why am I blanking on the name? The heavy machine gun from the joint we use when you're doing VOG, you shooting the oracles. It's the quickest.
Oh, corrective measure?
No, heavy exotic.
Heavy exotic machine. Thunderlord?
Xenophage,
Oh,
Xenophage, Xenophage,
Xenophage.
Xenophage.
Yeah.
So Xeno, I'll run
Well, there's,
Xeno.
yeah.
I'll run. Honestly, I've been on an Acreus kick since Arc 3.0 came out. People
Yep.
sleeping on Acreus. It's crazy. And then but
Gotta
mostly
go give
yeah,
people hugs to make that thing effective.
yeah, it's crazy. But other than that, yeah, I was predominantly rocking like a nice linear, depending on the element. You got
Yeah.
your Taipan, you got your the new Fire and Forget. If you want your stasis with the aggressive,
You
obviously
still
Storm
don't have
Chaser
a
with
solar
the
one, so
I know. And then
that one's from like, God, I don't know, season 10 or something that we actually had one. Yeah, it's been a minute,
yeah.
so we're
I
probably
mean,
due.
well, Val technically has it.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
trying like raid weapons, in my opinion, personally, are a bonus because I know there's how many people complete a raid? 10-15% in general.
Good point.
So if I
Good
picture
point.
like a weapon pool and I go to make like, hey, here's something you can use in this lost sector type thing, I'm like, not everybody's gonna have the solar linear fusion rifle from a raid. So and that
Mhm.
was the same thing about bows and stuff for a little while. It's like there are certain things that we were lacking. So we're
Oh
getting
yeah.
there, but
Oh yeah. But yeah, we got to see. I mean, I will give you this. I am worried about it in the sense that I hope it's not like that. Remember that whack stasis heavy that they came out with when stasis first dropped, and all it did was make crystals, and nobody uses it to this day, and still they never buffed it. What was that whack one? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That whack stasis heavy that dropped
Salvation's
beyond.
grip. That yeah.
Uh,
Now theoretically, I don't know how they can ever save that thing. It would have to just I don't know what that thing could possibly do to ever be good. But Firing Range had Mercules on the podcast, of course, friend of the show for them. And they were talking about the Sandbox patch, and they said Salvation's Grip and some other Salvation's Grip, Graviton Lance, like a couple of the exotics that didn't get this pass, they are working on trying to do something with. But I'm like, I don't know how you, I mean, I don't know how you make it good because it shoots stasis. It's not like stasis, but it shoots stasis crystal chunks.
mhm.
I'm like, unless you turn it into a machine gun and you can just like paint a room, I don't know how you make it worthwhile because it's
bro.
It's a slow grenade launcher that shoots a stasis crystal, and I'm like, then either you like gotta go punch it. There's no great way to shatter it with the gun. Like, I don't know what you do with that thing. It's so weird.
It was so bad. It was literally my only usage for it was, if you remember, it was like a quest line item to advance through the story
Yep,
to
that's the
knock
only reason
out
anybody
bugs.
used it.
That was the
That's
only
the
reason
only-
why.
Yeah, and it was the only stasis weapon. It was just absolutely trash.
Yeah, it was trash. That you have to fundamentally change the properties of that.
Yeah.
Like you cannot leave it. I completely agree with you. You cannot leave it in its current state. There's no functionality, practical functionality for it.
But yeah, it's like for me, I mean, glaives have potential. I mean, the legendary ones do. Nobody uses an exotic glaive now. That's the other reason people are like, you're going to take my heavy slot with an exotic glaive. Theoretically, it's going to go stasis, but I'm like, nobody uses an exotic glaive now because the 3 of those don't really find themselves worth it. Because like you can do some fun stuff with a glaive, whether it's you can get some melees in. If you're accurate with your shots, it's actually pretty potent. There are certain things that can be done, but to take up a heavy slot and then it's all about freezing. Maybe in a group, I could see some functionality because then you've got stasis for unstoppable, for overloads. You've got those kind of potentials. I don't know if the thing's going to have like chill clip on it. Who knows? But like, and also you've got to shoot a couple times, probably charge up the big frost orb. So there's a build up to it. It's not just like, let me whip out whatever my heavy is and it just works. It feels like it's just going to have some downtime
or PvP.
But I was like, you're going to have to get like multiple. You're going to have to get 4 shots. It means you're probably going to have to kill 2 people with projectiles, which is hard enough.
Yeah.
And then, you're going to have the little thing roam, which is probably only going to be useful for like control.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to see how it is. In theory, it looks fantastic. I will give it that. The look of the actual, like.
The look of it is fire.
Yeah. Like, the art team, the weapon designers. Yes. Yeah, like, it looks gorgeous. But I'm sitting here going, it's going to look ridiculous on my back. Even the solar glaive that we have right now, the Judgment, Calgraph's Judgment or whatever, when it's on your back, it's like twice the size of me.
Yeah, it's insane.
So like this thing, I'm just going to sit there like, give me 2 of these and I'll have like wings back there. They're so damn big. So I don't know.
Which ones you excited for? Which weapons you're excited for? I'm curious.
I mean, I was definitely on the Deterministic Chaos, the machine gun.
Yes. Yo.
I always like my machine guns. I always like my machine guns, so that was.
It gives me a what you call it vibe. That's a country, but it gives me the front of it looks like the fusion, the one that the tomb. It almost has delicate tomb like tomb in the front. A little bit. Continue. Tell me why you like this shit.
Just because it's like multi-void functionality in a weapon. So you've already got a weaken, so you've got a debuff. Then you've got volatile, so if you're mowing down guys and they explode, you can clear more of them. It's the ability to like focus on an enemy, weaken them, and then volatile as well. So if you get them to explode, maybe things around them explode. It's just like, it feels like it's going to have some fun uses as a machine gun. And I always enjoy it. Like Thunderlord's fun. Heir Apparent, I really never use that much.
Really? Bro, you sleeping. Heir Apparent is one of the few that didn't get hit with the nerf. It is extremely powerful.
I'll take Thunderlord over it every time.
Thunderlord is more fun, and I'll give you that. Since the Catalyst,
I was like, the Catalyst, yeah, because the Catalyst, you don't have to reload. The Lightning, and it's overload as well. I was like, I don't think Heir Apparent can hold a candle to it. To me,
I'm telling you, bro, give Heir Apparent a spin. The thing about you forget also is all the chaos that's going on around you. That shield on top of it with the DPS, you can sit there and tank so much, bro. I'm
PvE, PvP,
PvE. Like Heir Apparent is criminally underrated. Like somebody was doing DPS testing a while ago, and Heir Apparent was like up there. The only thing now I think that may have caught it was what's the other one? Shout out to Plague of Day. Yeah, Heir Apparent. Yeah, you a Titan, bro. You got War Rigs. You gotta do that, man. But now I feel you. Don't get me wrong. Thunderlord is so much fun.
It's like I can go through an entire Thunderlord and never let go.
Yeah, it's fun. I get it. Just give my Heir Apparent a little spin. See what's up.
But you got that one. You got the Final Warning, just kind of the strand sidearm with tracking projectiles. Well, it's potential, but then the proximity of the use of a sidearm.
Yeah.
So I got to know what it takes to proc the strand, tracking projectiles. So I kind of want to understand more about how it procs. But I was like, I'm I don't mind the idea of a sidearm, but last time we got one was like cryosthesia. Not so good.
Not so
You
good.
got
Not so good.
the what's the laser beam one?
Oh,
For those of you listening to a podcast who know, Devil's Road. Yeah,
Devil's Road. Yeah, we bad right now.
No, I can just tell you, it's like I've been listening to a podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally what it is. I'm like, yeah, when you're on the microphone, trust me, your mind blanks every so often. So it's like it's got some potential, but it's just like, and I'm trying to picture him like, where am I going to use the sidearm in PvE? It's got a couple tracing bullets. When I'm like, am I really ever in that much of a need to just like take out 3 or 4? It's cute, but I'm like, unless that thing can just like, you can get 1 kill in PvP, reload, and then run into a room, just traces and just like starts taking a couple. Maybe it's like powerful enough to do that with the reload burst, but I don't know. It seems like I've got to see it in action. The one I feel most comfortable about is the machine gun. The other two definitely got my reservations.
No doubt. No, that's fair. I think that's fair. I like what the machine gun does. It gives me collective obligation vibes, which I really love now that I finally got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Duck and Tina, helped me with that big time. But I'm interested in that. I wanted to ask you though, what is your feeling on that Titan barricade exotic armor?
That gets into the armor. Yeah. So this is where we get to see strand weapons, because you've got Quicksilver Storm's grenade makes a tangle. And this is why I was like, maybe we're going to get information after the trailer. I was like, hey, maybe we're going to get information. Oh, I don't know about strand. Since now we have these little floating tangles. I'm like, okay, I know that word. And then your boots, the Warlocks, when you shoot a strand and destroy it, it creates threadlings that like go across the ground. It's kind of like what the Cold Snap grenade does. They run across the ground. Same idea. It looks like it runs for them, and I don't know if it kills them, if it's got to be whatever. So we've got to learn more about strands. So right now it's just like I'm seeing words that have very minimal context to them. And then for the Titan barricade, it's got lashes. Now, this was my question when it came to the Titan, because we have the Titan hands. You know, got our 14th pair of boxing gloves, you know. Let me put down my void ones. Let me pick up these. Let me put down these. Pick up my ice gloves. So these are our strand spiky gloves. Now, I wondered, it's like you see them like kind of running and swinging. And I wondered if it was more, if there's like, you know, the heavy attack is like almost like a Wolverine cross, but it sends... And this is where I wondered, is because it says this thing, when a Titan uses their barricade, it gives extra armor to its wielder, which I didn't know, which is kind of cool. And it spawns 2 additional seeking projectiles that track targets aggressively and suspend them. And it sounds like maybe that would be like the Titan's thing is like I throw lashes with the super, and then I'm going to run around and like take care of what's like suspended, because it looks like the things kind of get, you know, suspended in air in the lashes. So
you get the Wolverine, you cut him up after you got him trapped.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know, if you're gonna have strand as like, you know, one of the aspects, is probably gonna be like your barricade sends out a lash, and then, you know, if anything caught in its path, and this is gonna be the exotic that goes 3 wide, that does kind of basically amplifies it, is what I would guess. This is kind of where it's all coming together. So I've got lashes, tangles, threadlings. I need my strand information. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I can just spitball for a while, but I'd much rather have an article that's full of information that I can actually use and talk intelligently about. But for now, context kind of is leading me in this direction. It has potential, but everybody else is like, this is kind of Capri's horn. The ugliest exotic in the entire game. Like, hands down, no question, ugliest exotic. It's awful. It's even the ornament's not great.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's the dire need of one.
Yeah, and that's the solar barricade. And this is the other thing, is like, okay, I'm getting weapons. I'm like, you have any idea how many crappy exotic armors are out there? I'm hoping we get some passes on those maybe as a final sandbox thing, but I would be very curious to see, like, because Capri's horn nobody uses, like, oh, solar blast, like, no.
And is it me, or Quicksilver Storm, even though it released early, now seems to have the additional strand functionality on top of it?
I think it's going to be just a straight up strand. I mean, unless they're just like messing with a video, every bullet that came out of it in the opening, they're green bullets that are flying through the air. So 100% I think it's going to transition into a strand weapon.
Yes. Yeah, because it was kind of basic before, but I was just like, now that makes sense. That makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that one's going to change. So yeah, what about you for your exotic ling armor? to create threadlings to infest and attack enemies after destroying a tangle. So you got to make a tangle. It's going to require some kind of strand kill, and then you shoot the tangle. You make threadlings. They go chasing after people. Where is this? Where is this for you?
This is so Warlocky. You know what I'm saying? We summon things. We get things to do the dirty work.
I swear you're gonna have a green buddy. I swear you're gonna have a green buddy. I'm not kidding.
Look, I'm very. The Warlock delegation is very pleased. I like what I see right now. Yeah. I mean, I think we got the better ones. But no, actually, I will say this. I do like that Titan barricade.
Titan's decent. I just gotta see the functionality. It feels like yours is definitely something that can get some used to. The Hunter one,
how do you feel about the Hunter? Yeah.
It's PvP 100% only. And then when you read the description, after grappling, so we've got our grapple, this exotic helmet gives extra protection as hunters gain body armor. Only body. Head still vulnerable, and flinch resistance. So you get flinch resistance, you already know it's pretty much straight up PvP. You're stronger against body shots, but apparently you can still get picked in the head. So you could grapple, get a headshot, and it doesn't do anything to help you.
Yep.
This is one of those moments where I'm like, sorry, hunters.
Yeah.
I mean, now, granted, hunters are very much more a PvP-centric class. Probably not always by any stretch, but I would say like if they're going to tip one of the two directions, a decent amount of hunters play PvP, probably at least as well, at least probably 50-50.
The top players, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, it's like as a Titan, I get precious scars. I'm just kind of like, I'm never going to use it. And it's always the worst exotic you don't care about that has your best rolls. I can almost bet you. I can look through and see that I've probably got an A on safe and a precious scars that probably have like a 69 perfect stat roll or something. And I'm like, I'm never going to use them. They're sitting there, but I'm never going to use them.
I do want to see the implementation. I know we're going in, but I do want to see the implementation. Once the strand information comes out, and we'll see how these things actually function in the wild. Because usually what happens is someone finds some busted build, and we go, oh boy, what's going on? Because I remember Solo 3.0 when we first heard about it. We were like, oh no, it didn't look as explosive. Void 3.0 set the bar. But then when we actually played Solo, we were like, yo, this is survivability. This is endgame. This is actually one of the more, it's less flashy, but one of the more powerful classes.
Classy Restoration kind of broke that season.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I know we going hard a little bit, rightfully so, based on what we see, but I do want to see the functionality just to see how it lands.
They state more exotic weapons and armor pieces coming with Lightfall, and of course some legendary ones too. But we're keeping these details under wraps for now.
Keeping it under lock and key. All right. More secrets.
So
you keep your secrets, Bungie.
We got a little hot fix.
Yes.
We got the Iron Banner buff. So I think today I'm at 11.5x. And we're not even at Friday yet, so I don't know if that's going to end up at like 13, 14 maybe total. So it should be faster. You also get it earlier. Like the first day I'm not working with 2.2 is like 4.5. So it's definitely you can grind a little sooner if you want. I will say kind of a surprise was they added quitter penalty protection to comp. So players competing matches that end in losses where one or more teammates were missing from the start.
Let's go.
From the start of the match.
Let's go.
Now this is missing from the start of the match.
Okay.
So I was like, it's good they don't like maybe if you load in without them because they obviously can't join mid session. But I was like, what if they just hate you and bail mid session? You still get screwed. So I was like, that should be something that's in there all the time. If you end a match and somebody bails on you, now granted, if you get to like 5 or 5 to what would it be 4 to 1 or something, and they're on their last round, yeah. But if it's near the middle of the match and the score is kind of close and somebody bails, should definitely like nullify that match for the losing team. I don't think it should count against them.
I agree. It doesn't feel good, right? And he's just like, yo, I stayed here, I toughed it out, I got bailed on. Why am I getting penalized if I decide to either leave or whatever? So I even feel like in the reverse side, there should be a little bit of a almost like a consolation for playing it through, knowing that I feel they should come up with an algorithm for that because
here's a core.
Yeah, something, right? Even reward based, because it's demoralized. You know you're gonna lose, and it's just like, all right, at least I'm a good sport about it. I stayed in and finished it out.
Yep. So Iron Banner is active this week as well. Have you played any? Are you grinding it? Are you already gilded? Are you done? Are you going for your chainmail shader?
Yeah, that's
The
literally what
Iron
it is.
Lord got to get his chainmail
I gotta
shader.
give a shade on. I've got the guild. I want the other emblem. I gotta get the other emblem, and I want the other I want that shader. Then I'll finish out. I'll rock out. But main thing is just is really just the grinding, the rolls. I do got to get in Deep Stone Crypt, man. I've not got in there.
I haven't touched that.
Yeah,
but I haven't touched it
I
either.
should have. I mean, I'm probably looking at it, but maybe a trusty have my interest with incandescent, maybe a couple of rolls.
Yeah,
I
trusty
mean,
could be good. Kinetic sniper, what's the one in there? Because that
oh
actually has one,
yeah,
right?
was it Secession or something?
Yeah.
And then the kinetic, the classic kinetic, shoddy heritage,
Oh,
heritage,
yeah. Slug.
yeah. And then you know what's funny? I never got any good. My RNG was always terrible with the reconstruction perks. I never got the good ones. Everybody got reconstruction. I never got any good ones. Yeah, I was just happy that I got 1,000. I mean, what's it called? Not 1,000 voices.
Eyes of
Tomorrow.
Eyes of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Iron Banner's on. I'm grinding it a little bit, but as I said, I was kind of working on Catalyst, so I was bouncing between momentum just because like Mida 2 taps in there. So I was like, kind of probably the best place for me to get some kills because everything's quick and you go to like 200. So that one's like a nice place for it. But Iron Banner definitely still have had like, it's not as many, but there's like one person a match who is like out of sync with the lobby. It feels like I'm like unloading because I was using Vigilance Wing because that actually wasn't doing too bad in there. Actually felt pretty good. Yeah, that felt good. Nice. I haven't used it in a while.
Cross got a good video up on it. People sleeping on Vigilance. It's really good.
That's like in the right range, it'll work. But that one person who's out of sync and I'm just like, I'm like all of a sudden it's like it's like, okay, he runs off and then like you hear him die over there, or there's somebody you see run around a corner and then all of a sudden he like slaps you dead and I'm like, no, just
you like that?
No, like that's where I get. So, and it's not, I feel like last Iron Banner was worse because I feel like it was like multiple or more frequent. And it hasn't been every match, but every so often there will be that one who's like in the lobby and they are just like, they're ping 1,000 versus everybody else is like 20 or 30. And it just, for whatever reason, and I don't, I'll go through momentum control. I don't see it at all.
Yeah. That's interesting. It could be maybe the mode. Interesting. Now I know they're still looking at it.
They got rid of freelance. You notice that?
Yeah, I peeped.
So they're trying the fire team based matchmaking in there. Now, granted, I have had some mercies. I have had some others. I haven't been checking the roster as much.
I was about to ask you. Yeah,
I should probably do that more just to see what fire teams are in there. Especially if it's like the score is like out of whack. I should probably check. I haven't been really doing it. I guess just because I didn't really think. Because I was like, I get one button, click on it. So
click on it and then just go.
I mean, in theory, fire team based, because I think I was talking to my chat, like fire team based matchmaking, in theory, should be a good thing. You have one node, everybody clicks on the same thing, and then just, divvies you out accordingly depending on your party size. Now, granted, of course, player base will make a difference. So then you have player base being divvied up into like skill, fire team, and then you have like lobby sorting. So it's like there's a lot of things that can go wrong. But in theory, if they can put it all together, it should hopefully be a good thing. Because in trials, if I click on that thing and I don't see 3 stacks against me every time, I'll play it a lot more because I don't want to play when it's not freelance because I'm like, I haven't thought about it 1 week. And I'm like, no, I don't think I want to do that. And it's just like, there's other stuff I could be doing.
No, you're right. No, absolutely. That's the thing that's so demoralizing. You get in there and you just see that 3 stack, or you just see a well coordinated group with the same clan logo, and you like,
especially when it's clan. Like it's like I'll see 3 and like they're not even on the same clan, but if it's 3 in a clan, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be painful, and it usually is. It's usually just like one rusher, one flanker. They have their coordinated strategy. The person who's good at the snipes gets the pick. Then 2 others rush, and it's just like it's done before you even know it. I'm like, at least they're quick games, but damn, it hurts because you like literally check and I'm like, loss.
Yep.
That's demoralizing. So I mean, if they can at least get trials to the point where it's like 2-2-1-1, like maybe there's and it's mostly ones, and as long as I swear it was so often, if they can do that, I'm mostly okay with it. Because every so often, no, not everything's going to be perfect. But if it helps like consolidate the matchmaking for skill and everything else they're going for, then fine. I know that's the end game goal, and I'm willing to work with them through that as long as they keep hold on, we're going to set this for like a season, then we're going to take our data, and then we're going to iterate a little bit on the algorithm. I'm like, dude, you should be doing that like every couple of weeks.
I am very curious what they're going to do with Lightfall, bro. I am very curious to where we're going. What's the next step after this, right? Where is it going to be, like you said, that iterative, smaller? Hey, we got a little bit of data, and now we're going to tweak such and such, or do we get a true, massive chunk of reformation in this space? I'm very curious about it. I know I'm asking a lot.
Yeah, it's like you're asking for.
I know I'm asking a lot.
Way too much. Way too much. That's not smart.
I can try.
Yeah.
I can try. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am curious about the PvP space for sure. It's the one thing it does seem they're trying to get a little bit of a focus on. The number of maps we're getting over the course of a year. That's just, unfortunately, just kind of sad. The number does not feel like it's enough when the new one that they're working on hadn't really been started, and they're polishing up some old ones. I do feel like they hired one person. That one person has the task of like, it's like they have to go around and like clean the entire, like they have to go around and like polish up every square inch of them, and it just takes some time. It takes some time to go through.
It's very,
but
very
and there's not just like, hey, here's these 3 or 4 people, they're knocking them out, and it's like to make one new. I mean, I'm not even the biggest Halo person. Never will claim to be, but for a company that has made tons of PvP maps over the course of their existence. Again, I know there are certain groups of people that have left. I know there's another IP that's probably being worked on that like sapped a lot of the PvP talent probably. That probably happened.
Yeah.
At some point, somebody out there's got to be able to make some maps. And that's just, and I'm not a PvP person, but it's like I played Bannerfall and I'm like, cool, it's kind of a fun map for whatever I was working on. And then I loaded into it again. I'm like,
yeah.
We're going into year 6 of the franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of strikes you'll see, the number of PvP maps you'll see, and then Gambit is just this sad state of affairs. Like Gambit, I don't even know if they don't address Gambit 1 iota for the entire Lightfall launch, that's going to tell you everything you need to know. That mode is just going to sit there. That green dot is going to sit on the director until the end of Final Shape, and they're finally going to be like, it was an attempt, we tried, and nope, it's done. Yo, what's up, Forte? If I ever step inside Deepstone Crypt again, it will be too soon. All crafted weapons completed. Damn,
nice.
You've been working.
Nice, you've been working.
Now rest until Lightfall, except for bounty prepped. Never end. I have prepped, but yeah, you. That's a lot. Way too much.
I'm
Deepstone
in the same
Crypt
boat
for me.
I didn't step in Deepstone, but I'm with you, Forte. I got as far as the crafted weapons, like I told you, it was like 2 or 3 that I got left. And I got to start bounty prep. I didn't really even start bounty prep. That's a good point. I didn't really start that. You all lined up?
Yeah, I mean, I started 6 weeks out. Because 6 weeks out, you can start doing the Dreaming City. But you got 4 weeks.
Yeah,
you can get most of, because you can do the 3 weeks of rotation for Europa. Because you got 3 different weeklies there, and you can get 4 of the weeklies plus the blind well for Dreaming City. Everything else, like
yeah, I got to get Shahan,
and you probably Shahan. Yeah, Shahan's got some. The Moon, definitely get Eris, even though it doesn't say XP++, they still count. Eris, Lectern, Europa. It's pretty much literally 1 Dares of Eternity, one big one. And then dailies, I just get from the Outer Rim. I don't touch any of the dailies at the tower. I don't even mess with them.
Really? Okay.
I don't want to mess with. There was at some point, and granted, it could be fixed now, but there was a point where if you had bounties from previous season or whatever previous expansion, and it would count towards the 1 of 8 bounties, and it would screw up a powerful drop, I'm like, not even touching it. So there's enough daily. I mean, you got daily bounties from every one of the places I listed. You've got daily from Finch. I've got 8 from EDZ. I've got 8 from Nessus if you get them over a couple of days. There's no need to touch the tower bounties for nothing.
Got it.
So literally just tower and helm, everything around it. Because you don't want anything from the helm. That'll just be gone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I got to start getting on that. Just got to start storing them up, getting that going.
But yeah, it's if you go through, literally just do the Empire Hunt and the Ascendant Challenge. You can do everything, and just do those on kind of a weekly basis. Everything else, if you want to power through, you can knock it out. But I've been spreading it out because I got February stuff that I want to play, so I'm trying to get that stuff mostly done.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. Same thing. It's like I'm trying to knock out at least 2 more games between now and the 28th, and then probably going to be Hi-Fi Rush. I'm trying to figure out. I would like it to be Deathloop after that.
I would
Really
be,
want Deathloop.
I would be very curious to see you play Deathloop because it doesn't have to be a crazy long experience either.
Mm-hmm.
How
long
but I
to give out?
would,
if you can remember.
Like, oh, where did I play that? Steam?
Okay.
Let me look.
Yeah, because that was probably only 2 left that I really want to knock out. But yeah, once that Lightfall hit, bruh.
Oh yeah, that's
that
over.
is it. It is over.
Mine was 30 hours, but I also played some PvP.
Okay.
I might put it at like 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terrible.
Are you ever going to touch Horizon?
Okay, so my plan there. Okay, my plan.
You know what to do is say, okay, but you know.
No. Jedi Survivor just threw a wrench into that. What happened? Okay, the DLC. What is it? Frozen Shores. Hold on.
Yes. This man ain't never gonna play it.
No, believe me, like
these are your type of game. I'm so shocked that Horizon is part of this for you.
Hold on, let me look up the damn DLC. Okay,
you
Burning Shores, April.
Of the just one guy.
Burning Shores is April 19th.
Okay.
Now, my plan is if Lightfall plays nice,
yes,
is to knock out Forbidden West before Burning Shores drops, or like basically kind of like try and roll into Burning Shores on its launch day. So
that's tough.
That's my goal. Because if I don't do it then Jedi Survivor comes out and I'm in trouble again. So it's gonna be like a day of like 8-hour stream, like a week of like 8-hour streams trying to get through the game. Because Forbidden West is not a small one. So that's why I was like, if Jedi Survivor was before, I was gonna have to figure it out one way or the other. But like Burning Shore sitting in like it's the 19th, second half of April, I was like, that's like 6-7 weeks out or so. I've also got a cruise in early April, so I'm probably a little screwed anyway. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. Trust me, I want to. But
I'm shocked that's so your game, but I figured. Look, it's business decisions at this point. We know what it is.
I mean, it is like it's like Lightfall takes priority, making content on that, and then like variety streams. It's just like if I'm doing a variety stream, it is 100% for me, and it is time I am not like thinking about. It's just like streaming, so it's kind of one of those that's like setting aside the time sometimes is rough.
My main concern is this. 28th comes, we're gonna grind out.
Yep.
Do the story. I'm dying to know about this campaign, where they go with it. There's a lot of questions.
Dude, right? That's gonna be my biggest question. I think the campaign is what I like. Strain can be fun, weapons can be cool, Sandbox can be fun. Campaign, I want to know what they do with the story because this is like our preamble to Final Shape. Like I gotta know. And this epilogue quest that we've got coming up here in a couple weeks, like on the 14th.
Where are they going?
I don't know what that's going to do.
The campaign is going to tell me. It's going to actually weigh very heavy on where my ranking is. That's the only I would say. I know Travis is very concerned about it because of what's going on, but that's my concern. I need the story to hit. If the story hits, then we got the week prep for the raid. Was it March 10th? Right? I believe we got 1 week,
10 days.
So day 1, race Ducky. I see you in there. Everybody who's getting down with me, let me know because I know Ducky put his spot. And I gotta see what's going on, where that raid gonna be, what's going on there. And then after that, my question is going to be: a lot of times, Destiny is sneaky post raid.
Yeah.
What happens? Do we get what? I'm curious what happens to the world state and or quest state afterwards. So that's why I know March is gonna be tough for me. I'm gonna be locked in most likely.
March
so that's why I'm
That's why I'm like, Jedi moving's fine.
Yes.
I'm good with that. That'll like put it in a place where it's like probably the perfect time to play it. I just don't know if I can fit Horizon in now there. I totally forgot about my cruise. I'm basically gone until that comes back. So.
Yeah, shout to back. He said he doubts they could top which queen. Listen, I will give you. Actually, we got an article on lordsofgaming.net right now where the editors ask everybody what's their most anticipated game. Obviously, they went to me. I wrote a whole soliloquy on Lightfall, but I did say this, and this is where I wish if Travis was here, I would tell him this. The pressure is extremely high. I don't know if they could. I will admit that. I don't know if they could top Witch Queen's campaign. That's what I was going to ask you, E. Like, that's one of the highest bars they have ever set with storytelling.
I will be impressed if they can get close.
Yes.
If they can get close, I'm still thinking it's going to be a successful. And again, we always have the asterisks of campaign for Destiny.
Right,
So
right.
it's like there's that whole whatever you want to call for it, but it's all in kind of where like Savathun, one of the hive gods, we've dealt with Oryx, and Zevo Arath is going to be a big one. It's like this time it's Callus, big fat naked dude in a pyramid bath. Like, I mean, that's what we're seeing in the preview. But did you see the picture of him at the bottom of the Lightfall page?
I did not.
Okay, go to Destiny 2 Lightfall, open the website, and just scroll to the absolute bottom.
Why he got that mask? What's going on with my man? What's going on with my man?
You see the mask, the red eyes, his jewels, and you can see his like teeth in there.
He look like Chunky Roke.
Yeah, so it's like what I was like. He looks like jacked up. Yeah, he looks like, you know, like Callus 2.0 after the witness got a hold of him. But
he look evil though. He look like
I mean, he looks messed up and evil. But I got to know what he does. I was like, I don't have a clue it's gonna go.
I like
Savathun is. I'm hoping there's just a twist.
Yes,
that's what I think is got. That's where I think the story has to go. Callus, I feel like, has to be like a pawn. There's something bigger. The witnesses. Now, I will say from the campaign, the trailers that we've seen, the Tormentors look legit.
Yes.
The Tormentors look like substantial, threatening. I don't know where they fit into the story and the lore, and if they're coming from the witness or what are they doing, but it's like they look threatening. The Shadow Cabal or the Shadow Legion, whatever they look like Cabal. They're going to have some twist into them, stuff like that. They're Cabal. We're going to have Vex involved, it seems like, as well. So we've got those pieces to it, but it's like I'm hoping the witness is some kind of a twist. The Tormentors look kind of badass. Yeah, it's like new story. Yeah, it's like there's, and that's what I'm wondering. It's like shattered glass glints in the neon starlight as the Shadow Legion marches beneath the fleet hovering over Neomuna. Legendary mode campaign, guaranteed power when you do legendary mode, so you know you're doing that again. Probably play it on story or duo, because if they have the difficulty scaling and health balancing as it is, the 3-stack is going to be kind of rough. They also have a description for a Neon Metropolis, travel a destination unlike any you've explored in Destiny 2, cross paths with bone-chilling Tormentors and valiant Cloud Striders. Have you seen the Cloud Strider wallpaper?
Yeah, it's very controversial in certain areas.
I think that guy is wearing like 2 COD pieces down there. Like that guy is the most stacked, well endowed space dude I have ever seen.
I understand how the population was flourishing over there.
Yeah,
he laid it down.
It is that like dude is just he is blessed. Let's just say he is very blessed.
Yes, the light has shined upon him.
Yeah. Yeah, they did not skimp in any part of him.
Yes. All his glory.
Yeah.
Has been
I'm very curious to meet the Cloud Striders. They look very they are very pretty people. They are well put together.
Yes. Did you see a picture with Caiatl in the streets raising the thing?
Yeah.
Like, what is she doing? Like, she got like uprising. It's going down, man. I think they're holding stuff, bro.
I mean,
they're holding so much stuff.
Like, we've got terminal overload, and then if you save the picture, it's called like, oh, see, this is one of those things where I'm like,
then you got the Titan with
it's like Lightfall, and it's called like Showtime, but it's like, so terminal overload. The Shadow Legion and the Vex are conducting an all-out assault on the city. Put an end to their destruction in this 6-player activity. That's going to be our wellspring. We know that's coming. The new raid, ferried from an unknown time and place. Now, this is the whole thing where like the witness standing in front of like this like kind of portal through like the forest looking thing I've seen in one of the cinematics, where it's like the witness is going to be throwing some things in here. But ferried from an unknown place and time, a haunting presence has been detected. We must now confront the ancient threat growing at our doorstep.
From an unknown time and place, ferried as if it's like put away, right?
But yeah, it's like this is where I think, you know, it's like the witness is like taking and keeping planets and all that stuff. I feel like the witness is like, here, you guys try this guy. And it's almost like a gladiatorial arena, just like he's just like throwing bad guys at us at this point. But like this one seems like he's pulling it from the depths. Like this one sounds interesting. Now I don't know where we're gonna go, if it's gonna be another pyramid raid. Probably not, because we did it once. So I don't know where they go. I am very curious what they do with the raid. As you said, it was the 10th of March, I think, if I have that correct. Basically, it's the Friday, the second Friday after launch.
Let me ask you this. I challenged our good friend Travis last week. I got to challenge E. What does E need for Lightfall to be a success?
Well, you said one of them already. The story's big.
Mhm.
Hold on, I gotta read Forte's thing. E, no disrespect, I feel like I owe you $5 for play the boring game called Horizon Forbidden Snore. Game is technical marvel and no soul.
No soul.
Did you like the
Damn.
first one though? Because if I loved the first one,
Mm.
like I enjoyed the journey, I kind of enjoyed the story, her understanding like the backstory of what was going on, putting it together. But honestly, like for me, it was the combat that won that whole game. Like the story was cool. I really liked the world they built and all like the characters. And I've heard like the side quest in Horizon Forbidden West of some of like the best like acting and like stuff that they put together. Thank you again for another $5 super chat, by the way. But I was like, every time I saw a dinosaur, especially the bigger and bigger they got, I'm like, all right, get ready for this fight. Like every single time, it did not matter. I never got tired of the combat in that game. So it was like, for me, it was just, I like bows. I nailed that. The mobility of her, the traps, the different type of arrows, hitting the right crit spots. Like, I never got tired of a fight in that game. So I'm like, if only I hear the story, the cinematics, it's gorgeous. Like, if it only seems like it's going to get better.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about to me, I'm not worried about it, but that's just because, like, I fell in love with the first one. So that's me. So,
no doubt. People, I have seen some talk about what Forte is saying. Shout out to him, shout out to
first
Kofi.
one was way better. I guess I'll have to try it. I mean,
people say that this is what I've heard, the criticism that I've heard is that people say it's a technical marvel, it's beautiful, the combat, everything you said, but they said that the side quest and they felt like the story the characters didn't capture them the way the first one did. So I don't know. But again, I didn't play, so I can't comment. I'm just telling you what I heard from the ones that didn't like it. But then I heard people like Colin who's like, yo, that's his game of the year. He likes it better than God of War. So, you know,
I mean, there's people who are going to give God of War a hard time. And I was like, it was that and Elden Ring, basically like 51-49, my game of the year. And there's people who don't even want to play like 5 minutes of Elden Ring. One of my closest friends is like, nope, I don't want to do it like that kind of, not even you, but I mean, I watched you try it and stuff like that too. And again, it's like not every game's for everybody. I totally get that. But for whatever reason, for me, just it clicked. I mean, the moments, and this is why I was like, I want to stream it, but I also want to play it on my OLED. And that's where I'm like, if you get to the top of a tall neck and you've got this like PS5 like landscape overview, and it's just, and you can just park it up there and just the tall neck's like slowly marching along after you take one over, but the vista view that you get from those things every time, I'm just like, my God. So no, and I was like, I had a blast. So it was like, I am, as you said, I am that guy. And it was like last year was the start of like, I did 60 hours of Horizon in like week and a half. I mean, I burned through the entire thing, and then we had Destiny, Witch Queen, all that fun. Then I did Elden Ring. So I had 60 hours of open world, 110 hours of open world, and I'm like, I need a space on the open world. So that's why for me, I'm like not in as big, and the longer I wait, the better it's probably going to feel. And I just did God of War, so.
I get it. So back on track. What you need, Lightfall.
One was story. You said it. I want this story, because again, I am wondering how the hell they're going to do Final Shape. What is going to happen in 20, so we're going 20, 21, 22, 23. 24 is Final Shape. I still don't understand how there is a season 25.
I know, right?
I don't understand the concept of like, here is the giant like culmination of this 10-year saga. Come play with us next season. What am I doing? Am I delivering? Now I'm going to be doing Death Stranding and delivering groceries to people because this stuff cannot have weight to it. That's where I have my questions about, like, that's even more of a worry of like, hey, come get the Final Shape season pass. What happens in season 25? Tell me now, because I got to know. So it's like, but the story has to lead us there.
Right.
So the story is big. You're saying that massively. Strand. Just hopefully better than Stasis for a Titan. I feel like it's a low bar to hit, so hopefully they can deliver on that one. If it can be better than Stasis for a Titan, gives me another tool in my toolbox to use. I think between the loadouts, the freedom of facing champions, the lack of match game, we're going to have a lot more. Our Batman utility belt can be customized in a lot of different ways.
Right, so Ben Church will tell us fantastic things. Yo, that was good.
Ben Church, by the way.
Ben Church. Oh, well, continue.
But it's like our Batman utility belt previously, if I'm going to go into a lost sector, I've got like 1, 2, and 3 things. That's the only thing that's really going to make this thing happen. Now, I'm like, I got a whole arsenal and wall to pick from to be able to go after what I'm going for. So if they're going to do a big sandbox patch, you know they're going to do a big sandbox patch because they haven't talked about subclasses. They haven't talked about armor. I mean, we're going to be getting new mods, the customization of the loadouts, the passive action of the artifact, all that type of stuff. You notice they haven't mentioned light level yet?
Yep.
I don't know if they... Now, granted, in one of the videos, it looks like it was 1801. So I still assume the floor, like you log into Lightfall, everything is now 1600. They're going to do the, you know, raise the floor and everything is 1600. So please don't infuse, waste your upgrade modules. Not worth it right now.
Sorry.
So yeah, I can understand. And then the power grind for the expansion, I get that. Now, what do they do with the seasons and instead of the Lightfall difficulties? Hopefully they lean that way as opposed to the 10 Pinnacle grind that I can't stand anymore. I'm never gonna be able to get all the things because, like, you know, hey, what do you do later in the season? Grandmasters. Well, it's like the same 6 strikes we've been doing for like 3 years now. It feels like they rotate some out. These are in here this season. These ones aren't. But it's like a lot of people have done the Nightfalls before. You've done the Grandmasters before. We're 6 years into this franchise. I'm like, take Heist Battlegrounds, put them into Vanguard Ops. Take PsyOps Battlegrounds, put them into Vanguard Ops. At least give that playlist some variety. I mean, just... yeah, it's
core activity stuff.
Core activities would be great. I'm not holding my breath, but like at least those 2 battlegrounds should go where the other battlegrounds are at a minimum, because I know the helm's going to be wiped.
We've got that confirmed helm.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
And what leads me to believe that is you can do daily craftables right now.
Right, because they want to get that out. Make sure.
Yeah, you're like, this is your last chance. Because guess what? In Lightfall, it's a clean slate wipe in there.
Why would the scenario be that the helm is not there?
Not the helm's not there.
I mean, but why? I mean, that maybe something.
I mean, they clean slated it last year. Why would they?
They did completely.
Before Witch Queen, nothing was the same. Witch Queen had Season of the Lost. You had Mara Sov over there. You had, you know, the War Table was still up there, but that one kind of got reused. The one off to the left was Chosen. I'm trying to remember where everybody was at. But I know, like, Mara Sov was over there. Why did she leave when we logged into Lightfall? Didn't technically have to. They just wiped it clean, shut all the doors, and reset for the new year. So that's why there's not so much of an explanation. I think it's just like what they're going to do.
Got you. And the setup for future seasons and stuff.
Yeah, same thing. It's like, you know, the front one, War Table, then off to the left will go this way, or maybe the one back here gets used, and the one off to the right's the final season for whatever reason every time. Like, I mean, you can almost call some of these as we do it if they keep the same cadence to it. So
makes sense.
Chosen Middle, Splicer. Okay, that was the one. Yeah, the Fallen one was left. And then we got, you know, the Elixir Quarter and stuff. So it's like, I enjoy the voicemail. I mean, it's like, what's going to happen with Callus and Lightfall? We also have season 20. And it's a little separate.
Whatever season of
now, from the preview, I'm going to guess that's going to be Vex and Mithrax, and we're going back to splicing. But we're splicing with Strand now. That's my hunch, because in the trailer, there's a shot of a very specific, like, hey, go down this weird looking thing with the skybox that looks like it's in Splicer Town. And it looks like we're back in there, but it's got kind of a blue and green tone instead of blue and reddish. So it feels like we're almost, now that we can manipulate Strand, we're going to do something with Mithrax and that. It feels like that's going to be kind of the thing.
Okay.
Because Lightfall is very much going to be focused on Neomuna. We might go do stuff on a couple of the random ass planets. Like, hey, we're going to go to Europa and do a mission in the middle of the Lightfall campaign. All right, cool. Now we're going back. Same thing's probably going to happen, but I would imagine most of it's going to be on Neomuna. Cool place, new destination. Actually looks awesome. I want Neomuna to be a legit destination. I want it to be bigger than Europa. I want it to be bigger than the Throne World. I want it to be a bigger destination with more than one landing zone, please.
Oh, you don't want the one drop and then you gotta go.
No.
You don't feel like how like Europa started with just that one and then you just gotta
landing. No. Yeah, yeah, give me a destination that, yeah, and then so story,
Yes.
customization stuff. I'm looking forward to. Like that's all the
Quality
loadout, the
life.
mods, all those
Yes.
things. That's like the combination of the sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a solid destination, which it looks cool,
Mm-hmm.
but again, hopefully there's also some width to go
Yes.
along with our swinging height. Like I can jump up and
Yes.
down, but if I do it in like the width of a spoon, doesn't really matter.
Right.
So I
So
need more.
verticality and more room.
Yeah, just yeah, big enough where you want multiple, like the moon size.
Yes. Okay.
Give me at least like 4 nooks, because I'm tired of like 3. It's been
Yeah,
3 for a
yeah.
minute because we got
It's been 3
Europa,
for a minute.
we
Yeah.
got that one, and then if this one's just like 1, 2, 3, it's like
Yeah. Well, I get you. I get
yeah.
you. These are reasonable asks.
Like, especially if the story is like, if you're going Witch Queen story, if you say Witch Queen story to some people is like a 9, maybe an 8, somewhere in there. Solid, very, very good.
Very good.
If you take Callus story, maybe not hitting as well, might need to deliver in a couple other places, bigger destination. I want better secrets too.
Yes. Yes.
Better, and now you can grapple, figure out some weird stuff we got to do with that thing. I want to see some fun grapple secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. So what about you? Like on the other side, I know you asked Travis, like that's kind of mine. And I know you're saying some, but I was like, what keeps you coming back? Because I know right now you're like, oh, I got a good season going on. Seraph hit, and Seraph helps. But I was like, what's gonna do it for? What did you? Okay, let me ask it this way.
Yeah.
What did Lightfall not deliver, or what did Witch Queen not deliver for you?
Witch Queen was damn near perfect storytelling. What it didn't deliver was core activity grind. The core activity still was stagnant. Like they didn't really do much with strikes. They didn't really do too much with everything else. They just showed that, hey, we could deliver a classic Bungie level epic campaign that you know us for, from the Halo days to this, with a character, let's be honest, was one of the most anticipated characters. We've heard about Savathun.
Yeah.
So it was all that hype. Then you had the amazing voice actress.
Oh, Deborah Wilson, like leading up to it in Season of the Lost.
Oh, it was
and
the
then going in, yeah.
Oh, bro, it was a perfect. So for me to realistically think Lightfall could top that, I gotta relax. Like if they do that, then now we're talking Bungie's God tier. Like, so I'm gonna be realistic. I was gonna
say we don't even have the same lead-in right now, because you think about this season, we got Rasputin as the main focus, not in any way connected to it. So it's like, how are we gonna get from Rasputin to Neptune?
Yes,
we have a long journey to go, and there's one exotic there's a I don't even think it's an exotic, so don't say that. There's a quest / activity in the last 2 weeks. Like that one thing is going to take us through the expansion, not like an entire season of like listening to Crow mess with like Savathun in the crystal, and Deborah Wilson's talking to you as this voice and just crushing it.
So good,
so like,
so good. Now,
I don't. That's why I'm like, I don't know if Lightfall campaign can do it.
Look, we got to be realistic. I will always defer that to you, to Trav. Like I'm being realistic. Where I'm not. What I am going to say is this: set it up in some way, right? That we have the imminent threat. I do feel where I'm completely not with Travis is that I love this aesthetic. I love.
I'm loving the planet. I just want enough of it.
Cyberpunk Tron, where it feels like a damn new location. That I've always wanted that from Destiny, where it's like, yo, I'm tired of these samey kind of things. You know what I'm saying?
Here's another forest.
Yeah, here's a forest. Here's
here's a white hive city instead of a dark.
Yeah, all right. Like, we did the snow. Yeah, we did snow biome.
Yeah, we got the biomes.
Bro,
yeah, check the boxes.
We are going. They're checking every box for me. This is Cyberpunk. We're talking Tron. Then we got a little bit of martial arts aesthetic. You see the headbands and
the headband over the eye for the headband, the band over the eye for the Warlock. I'm like, damn it, that just looks cool.
They speaking of a song,
fair, but I was like, yeah, it's not fair because like the Titan's cool, but I'm like, it's the headband over the eyes. Like the Titan's just like, the Titan has more bullets than he knows what to do with. There are more bullets and shotgun shells on one forearm. Like,
bro, it sounds like you just need to be a warlock. I mean, it seems you need to come over, man. It seems like
I swear if we get screwed on Strand again, I'm gonna be just so mad.
Listen, man, yeah, Karate Kid also it's definitely giving that very, spiritual dojo kind of
Yeah.
vibe. And this is where I needed to hit. Again, I'm not which queen is which queen, so but what I would love to hit is how we get Strand, the lead into it, the lore
Yeah,
behind it.
I do
How
want
is
to
that?
understand that.
I want to understand it, and I want
Better than
to.
Stasis too.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I want it to be, if they can, it may not be a Red War Dominus Goemon, but I would like,
Strip us of our
yeah,
powers.
we need to be humble. Like, witness, you came in
I
there, you did
think
something you weren't supposed to do, and you beat Rock. We are on the radar. So the way I look at it, to make this story hit, the witness has to do something that puts us on the run. We can't go to the
I
last
think
city.
that Tormentor is gonna like level the
Mhm.
playing field. And I'm hoping because it looks like have you seen the trailer shot where he's like holding the Guardian?
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
just like you look like a pawn and you just like kind of like flicks him off a building and it's just
Yes, I need that dominance goal. You got kicked
yeah.
off the thing energy. We need to be humble. We haven't been humbled in a while. So we got that. Then if again, this is just really wishful thinking. The Mithrax, the Caiatl, let's form up our little baby Avengers we've been humble. Like at the end of Endgame when the next one, what was the next one after Endgame?
Finals.
No, what is it Endgame? What was it
Infinity
Avengers
War and then Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame. At the start of Endgame, everyone's wrecked,
Oh, just
right?
destroyed, yeah.
We lost. How are we going to do this? And I think people are sleeping on Callus. Callus, the actor,
Somebody
very
said it in chat. I forget who.
yeah,
Necromancer. He said that the Callus voice actor. He's done well with the character. Like,
done well. He's done well. Like the only thing I want from them is to put the fear, and then the key to all of this, where I think it's going to hit, it could hit, is you gotta have that twist, whether it be a character or something that has completely not been mentioned, that maybe Bungie is holding on to vest, and we go, hey, yo, I didn't know we was gonna have to deal with this.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that is what I need.
We need the one twist that we're not
Yes,
expecting. Yeah.
we need that
I'm with you
one
there.
twist. We need that. And for me to be key, the last thing for me, I know it's a lot of pressure, but I do need this raid to be phenomenal. Like I'm sorry, I'm kind of done with 16. If they hit me with 35
Yeah.
symbols and I gotta get a pay, bro, I'm tired of symbols. You're gonna have to, not that you can't have any, but bro, you have to get back to other type of mechanics. It should not be a memorization game all the time during a raid. I need this raid to hit, because as great as Vow is, as great as Roke is, as beautiful as the aesthetic, they nailed it. I will never disrespect. I just don't like rerunning that raid. That's just where I'm at.
I get that.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
yeah, I was like, I've got to do it at some point for, like, I could use a deliverance. I really could. Because chill clip being a fantastic thing and you can craft one with it. I got a decent show clip. It took me a lot of engrams, but I found like I made a decent show clip Riptide with the focusing, because I've been that's the only thing I'm focusing is that show clip Riptide. So I have a chill clip as that option, but Deliverance is that hits a little harder, but not like a really long charge time, craftable, so you can really make your god roll. That's the one I want, but again, it's like I'm only 2 of 5 on the patterns, and I just need to head back in there. It's gonna be rough.
No, I agree. And I got to get a couple of roles and stuff like that. Shout out to Play. He said he agreed with Travis. Not a good sound. There was hype stuff that not been announced. No, look, I always said the criticism is fair. I've always said it's fair to say, hey, you're skeptical, or hey, what I've seen, that's fair. I've always said that. I just have faith based on the history of Bungie that they are being extremely selective with the way they do stuff based on how they've been operating lately. So I feel like it's a purposeful holding back. We're not giving you everything. Now the key is what have they held back? Is it going to have that impact? Now that I don't know, right? We got to see how that is. But yeah, as long as they lead into that raid and we get some advancement with the witness, your boy is good.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can touch on some of that sandbox stuff here so we don't linger for too long. Linear fusions and Viced. So Viced is no longer going to go possible full clip. It's 25%. You pair that with the linear fusions. Everything except Sleeper and Queenbreaker are getting a 15% damage nerf against champions, mini bosses, bosses, and vehicles. It's mostly where you use them anyway. So Vice Stinger. So you got Reed's Regret, Fire and Forget, and Taipan. All 3 of those are pretty decent DPS options. More reloading is going to be probably required. and 15% less DPS. Now, granted, with their, like, depending on the length of the damage phase and stuff like that, they're still viable. They're still going to be decent. They're just not going to probably be the be-all, end-all option of all things. Like, I think we all saw it coming because, like, oh, I was like, Taipan, that is like the floor for DPS. If you don't craft yourself a Taipan, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, that is the easiest DPS ever. Now it's a little more open. Now, Sleeper might get a chance to walk a little bit. I don't know. Queenbreaker is getting a little bit of a buff. I wonder how that will feel. That's the one I'm curious on. Queenbreaker, because we'll get to the descriptions on it. Probably more exciting for me is machine guns. About a 10% total overall buff. PvP, basically, the kill time is coming down to where it's like basically half a second. So if you have a machine gun and you can hit your shots, you'll kill people. Ammo reserves are going up for most machine guns. They are not basically... Xenophage is not being touched, and I'm kind of mad.
You want more? You want a little bit more?
I just want a few more bullets.
Yeah, it hit like a truck, though.
It does. But I was like, if you're not running Actium War Rig, it is really, really not the most optimal thing in the world. So yes, it works for Titans, but I'm like, I don't care if it's like 6 more bullets. I just want a few more on that gun because it never feels like it's quite enough for me to do some of the stuff that I want to do. Like, machine guns are meant to be like, I got enough bullets on my armor right now as a Titan. Let me put like 6 over here for Xenophage. Let me just hold a few extra. The other one is, I think the damage is going to happen for Grand Overture, but it is not getting ammo.
Correct.
Now, things that are probably going to get ammo. Thunderlord.
Whoa.
And a 10% damage buff. Now I'm like, all right, that's going to be my baby for a little bit to try out. I think that, because it's also overload stunning.
Oh, yeah.
So Thunderlord will be good. But I mean, again, our current one, our retrofit right now.
Yeah, retrofit with the target lock, 4 times the charm.
And again, if and then if you got the inventory stat, you got about 20 more bullets, 20% more rounds. And then you got 10% more damage buff. Is it going to be like, the volatile crazy god tier? No, but it is going to be a very reliable legendary, I think.
Let me ask you, what do you think out of the legendary machine guns, which archetype do you think is going to benefit the most? Do you think it's the rapid fires? Do you think it's the heavies, the 360? Like, which one do you think, or the adaptives, which is like the 450s? Like, if you had to guess, just wild guess, which one do you think benefits the most out of these changes?
Rapids, I would bet.
Yeah, rapids might be serious. Yeah.
It's just because the damage, the 10%, you got a lot more bullets coming out. And right now, we currently just have a rapid that is probably one of the better legendaries because of 4th times. So you're getting free bullets, you've got target lock, you've got the increase in damage, and it climbs more than most other, and you can just sit there and mow a boss. You can mow something big. So I would guess Rapids would probably see the most benefit from this. But I mean, if you're on the lower end, though, if something like a high impact gets like 35% more reserve ammo, like a collective, not collective, corrective measure. Corrective measure.
Yes.
Like, that's a 360, I think. And if that thing has like...
nice one.
30% more rounds in reserve, that definitely gives you something that hits harder. You can a lot more flexibility. Now I've got I
got an adept one.
I've got a rewind rounds. One of those. So I think that one's probably decent. So I was like, I think machine guns are just going to be decent. They've been trying to make them better and better. It's a heavy, and that is usually still where your DPS is going to come from. They do like those for ad clear, but you got to use your heavy for DPS. That's just what it's meant to do. So
yeah. That makes sense.
Heavy GLs. 20%. Miners is 40%, which is like, I think they're just going to be more efficient on like ads. But it's 20% damage bonus. Does include Anarchy. Does include Parasite. No, does not include Parasite. Does include Anarchy. Does include what's the one that nobody uses that's very ornate? Tex Mechanica, Rapid Fire, shoots all of them at the same time. Somebody in chat's going to know it. I looked at it. Prospector,
yes. So no for Prospector?
No, that one should work too. Prospector should work, and then Anarchy should work. I think Anarchy was confirmed on Fireteam chat.
I'm shocked that they gave Anarchy because how they was very, how we was abusing Anarchy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
You got those two. Parasite's not touched. It already hits like a truck. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, if you got a heavy GL, I mean, basically they say it's like you can miss. You have to arc the shots. They have travel time. Like,
yeah,
you're going to miss some of those because you just are. So,
yeah, moving targets. heavy GLs, yeah, needed this. We know, like it needed to come back to relevance. Linears had their time. There's no
Yeah, I
disrespect.
mean,
Linears had a
this is the
run.
like if anybody complains about the whole no, you're nerfing my favorite gun. I'm like, wait about 2 years, it'll probably be back. This is the cycle of Destiny nerfs and buffs, and this is too strong, this is too weak, and this is now we made it too weak. It's strong. Like it's just it's
The nature of
all
live
of the
service.
waves. Yeah.
Yep.
Ebb and flow of our sandbox. Shotguns are having like reticle work done to them. I'm not even going to dive into that.
Yeah.
Kinetic weapons. So technically those do a 5% damage to unshielded targets in PvE. That's just every kinetic right now. But stasis does the same thing because it's in that slot.
Right.
So stasis is now no longer going to get that little 5% damage bonus because they have other things that they do. Because you've got stuff like chill clip, you've got stuff like headstone, those kind of things. They have different functionality. So they state kinetics they're trying to give them a bump. So kinetic primaries are going to get about a 5% bump, about a 4.75% bump in damage. And then kinetic special weapons get about a 9.5% bump in damage. Now, kinetic special weapons that you would probably think of are Bastion, Izanagi's.
Izzy,
Izzy's the big one, probably.
He is. I didn't even think it's kinetic. You're right.
Kinetic
Izzy
special
could be serious.
You're going to get about 9.5%. So it's just going to be that if you can pair that with a decent maybe GL, something like that. Some people are probably only an auto loading kind of thing. Some people might be trying to bring that back. Primaries to consider. You got a lot of primaries. The one that I would probably have everyone think about though, Wish Ender.
Why so? We got
because it hits for 2 or 3 times when it hits big targets. And it's getting a buff of about 4.5% already. It's a barrier weapon guaranteed. It's primary, and you have infinite ammo, and it hits like a truck.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So it's going to be a little bit stronger. And as you don't have to worry so much about shields and all this other stuff, kinetics are going to have more functionality to them as it is.
And Wish Ender uses primary ammo, right?
Yeah, you'll never run out.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. They also say there's a kinetic damage type perk coming in Lightfall. Now that I don't quite know, because I mean, if you picture, you've got Volt Shot, got Incandescent. They might be doing something for Void. They mentioned in one of the random podcasts I heard that a Void kind of perk is coming. Like I think there might be a Strand one, and maybe, but they say here there's a kinetic damage type perk coming in Lightfall. What do you think that could be? And chat, same with you guys. What do you guys think a kinetic damage perk would be? I've been scratching my brain, not literally, obviously, but I cannot come up with what they're gonna do here.
Do with that, yeah, that is very interesting because let's break it down. What we got right now for Arc Volt, we're gonna say right is the
Volt Shot. That's probably gotta be it.
And that's very powerful.
Yeah,
that's very powerful.
Incandescent, that's got to be solar.
We know what it is.
Now Void, don't. Right now we have Repulsor Brace, but I think everybody's like, we need something that's offensive.
Yes.
So I think they're going to do some type of maybe volatile explosion grouping. I don't know but they've said that's kind of maybe in the works. Maybe it's not coming. We have no idea anything about Strand, so we'll get to that later. But I cannot figure out what a kinetic would do, because like if it explodes, feels like it's a little too much incandescent.
Solar, yeah, feel very solary. Somebody made a good point. Second said knockback, like maybe like a knockback.
I was actually going to say the same thing, like a knockback, a concussion, a kind of stun, a stagger. I mean, you have stuff like armor piercing rounds and high caliber rounds that kind of do that. Like if you hit them, you kind of get the enemy to like wiggle a little bit, but. Yeah, I don't know. Knockback would be interesting just for.
But I like the idea of it because, let's be real, when you run a kinetic, outside of the basic functionality of whatever the exotic may do, if you're running a kinetic, it feels weird. It feels like you're not optimal if you're running a kinetic, because it's like you're forced. You're doing it because you're doing some champion work. You're running a kinetic pulse or whatever because you got anti-barrier based on the seasonal mod. But like you really must love that weapon to take that instead of an energy-based primary. It's to the point now, like trace rifles for me, like those are like almost some of my new primaries in the energy slot.
Yeah.
And then you couple that with the intrinsic if I
Volt
got
shot
incandescent,
yeah.
volt shot with, so now it's all this potential. It's like, why would I use a legendary kinetic
Yeah.
when I got
It's
those? So I
hard.
love that they do it. I think they recognize that people are leaning that way. So you got to give them something. It's just going to be what? But I interrupt
Yeah,
you.
I
You're about
mean,
to go off
no, I
into your.
mean, I'm just
Mhm.
spitballing too. Prescott said kind of shrapnel or piercing multiple targets. I could see like that'd be like a full metal jacket kind of thing. So I could see that be kind of like a kinetic full metal jacket piercing. I could see something like that. Somebody said bleed, and honestly, like you're getting into RPG territory that I would love them to get into. I don't see it happening, but it would be like, I mean, that's where you get into shrapnel. It's the idea of like doing lasting wounds kind of thing. Maybe it's a slowing effect, like it is a wound or a shrapnel. Like I would be curious. That gets almost into stasis territory. It's like, and that's where it's like, I don't know where they always take it. So it's
it's the. This is going to come down to what Bungie philosophically feels a kinetic weapon is, because everything they base on is based on the philosophy of the class,
verbs and nouns for whatever
verbs and nouns. So whatever what they feel the lore behind a kinetic weapon is where it's probably going to land. But I don't know what that is. So but I'm excited. This needs to happen. It needs to happen. Yeah.
So yeah, kinetics stuff to consider. I mean, something like Arbalist is getting about a 5% nerf because it's getting the linear fusion nerf of 15%. It is getting that nerf, but it is getting about a 9.5% buff because it's a kinetic. Now, Lawrence Driver, which I don't think anybody uses in PvE anyway, that one just getting the full 15% nerf. See you later. So that one's just been taken out to pasture and shot. But that's a saying that I've gathered from people who live in my vicinity, because man, that sounds so Texan. It's not funny. I've never lived on a farm in my life, but that is 100% Texan right there.
Yes, Texas was in the building just then.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We sent Lawrence Driver off to the farm. Is that better? Is that more of a universal?
No, I didn't mind the first one. It need to go. I'm tired of getting killed by that thing.
So yeah, even something like that, like Arbalist is still gonna have its function, and it's like a little gonna be about 5% weaker. So it's like it's still gonna be kind of hanging. If you want a decent like linear pop from your kinetic slot, it still could work. My biggest, I'll be very curious how the shields feel. Like even just like even if I'm shooting them with my arc pulse rifle, of like okay, now it's gone. Like if it's not dramatic, then I'm gonna probably be happier about that. Exotic.
Jack got a good point. He said this is what they hate about the nerfs. They're not settled at all. They're basically sunsetting weapons. But that's literally what they do. I mean, that's
well, they have to do this
handling
because everybody lost their ever loving mind because they didn't want sunsetting. But sunsetting has to happen.
This is
like
above said it last
above said it last week. It has to happen. This is their way for them to move the sandbox because they can't make a bunch of new stuff.
That's better.
And apparently they figured out they also didn't have the capacity to make enough weapons to make it worthwhile, which is probably their biggest mistake to do in the first place. But this is their way to basically sunset and then bring it back a little while later. Like, Queenbreaker, for example. So okay, the way I read this is
let's go.
The Queenbreaker is not affected by the nerf, so it's still as strong as a linear.
Okay.
Uses the Arc 3.0 blind, which blinding will also take care of unstops, I believe. Now, it also said shot now chains to nearby enemies. Do you read that as jolt?
Yes, it sounds very jolty.
Yeah.
That's literally kind of what jolt does, minus a little it's like if they're not going to go full jolt, then it's like chain reaction-y. You know what I'm saying? But with the blind aspect is huge. The key though is and I mean I want to be fair to it, but I don't still see it as a DPS weapon, but we want to see.
Shout out to Samson. Keep my Lawrence at your guardian mouth. Hey, if we got Lawrence fans out there, I'm sorry I'm crapping on you, but that thing is definitely not going to be doing so hot.
Yeah, I know you trying to run up on us and give us the slap, but we got to see, man. Shout out to Samson.
It sounds like it's some type of chain. Like if it's not Volt, it seems like. Oh, by the way, we're going to go through this whole list of like adding subclass verbs to exotics. Where the hell is Risk Runner on this list? That is like the most obvious one in the world. It should just like
for Risk Runner. I didn't think about that. You're right. Yeah, that's so obvious.
And that's the only thing is like they're going to give Queenbreaker the like chaining effect that Risk Runner does, but they're not going to give it the jolt. It's my only guess, but one way or another, it chains to other enemies. It has Arc 3.0 blind. It's a linear that's not affected. It could be reasonable.
Yeah.
Ruinous Effigy, the transmutation spheres now suppress.
Makes sense.
In theory, it could be fun, but you know, I still got to get up close enough to dunk.
To do all that, yeah.
You know? Leviathan's Breath. Shout out to our guest coming up, Sammy Cat. She's like the triple bow user, and like she soloed a Grandmaster with triple bows and no HUD.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, guess what bow she has to use in the heavy slot? This guy.
Leviathan.
She's a happy camper because now it applies volatile and perfect draw. And if any of you hunters out there want those gloves, the Oath Keepers, I think, where you always get a perfect draw, every time's volatile. Increase the damage in PvP so you can one-hit kill a super. For those of you, if you are running Leviathan's Breath in PvP and you are one-tapping a super, please tag me in a clip. I just want to see it because that is the combination of events that have to happen right there is quite impressive. But they increase the damage versus champions by 30%.
Bro, they are trying. Bungie is like, please use Leviathan. This is the second buff. The last buff,
the Catalyst gave it Archer's Tempo, something like that,
and Intrinsic Unstoppable.
That's right. Yeah,
bro, and it's powerful. It also has like as it currently stands, it has almost like an explosive type
knockback
effect
kind of. Yep.
After impact, it's powerful now.
Yeah.
The Leviathan's going to be stupid.
They really want it to be strong.
They like, yo, use this, please.
We know it takes an hour to charge, but when you let go, it's going to be a flying semi-truck. Like, good luck.
Yeah. I've always loved Leviathan's Breath. The only issue was just that obviously the slow, the slow charge up when, retraction when you're trying in the midst of combat. But when it hit, it was stupid effective. So yeah, I got that thing lined back up again. I'm ready.
1,000 voices. Now going to apply Scorch.
That hurts. I still ain't got
I don't have it either, so we're in the same boat. I don't have it either.
You had it.
Nope. Never ran. I've run it like sporadically here and there, but it's like I've never farmed for it.
I gotta call DJ or else he's gonna be like, see, because you know what I told him? I was like, you're never gonna do that. I gave up. I was like, it's not meant to be. I've been in so many runs where people have gotten it multiple times. Like, it's been bad with me. I am just never getting that. But to see this get this, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good, man.
It applies Scorch, and if you get the whole burst on one target, it will cause ignition. And ignition, I think, will also stun and unstop. I don't think you would use it this way because you got to waste an entire round to stun. But I guess you could fire the second one and probably kill them. Sunshot, that's going to be Scorch. So it will definitely, each explosion kill now apply Scorch. Polaris Lance. Shots. Not a kill, but the shots now apply 40 plus 20, and the plus 20 is from Ember of Ashes. Now, I mean, for some of you guys who don't know about Polaris Lance or don't really use it that much, that is going to be a very powerful because you basically have an infinite clip if you're hitting crits. And now you're going to get like Scorch explosions and ignitions that go. Like, if you need a backup DPS weapon, everybody goes to Outbreak. Yeah. I honestly feel like this is going to be a solid backup DPS because if you've got a boss like head to shoot for a while and you run out of ammo, don't forget about this one.
Perfect Fifth is easy to proc too.
Yeah,
you get them. Yeah, it's
bing, 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 ding. Like,
always love Polaris. That's good. I got my catalyst done. So,
This is the one I'm probably the most curious about, though. Did not see this coming at all. No, 100% was like, all right, I kind of saw some of it, but the third one, Two-Tailed Fox had tough competition as a heavy exotic weapon, but now it's the only one that can apply subclass verbs from multiple damage types without extra steps. So solar rockets now apply Scorch. So theoretically, if you fire a second rocket, you'll probably get an ignition. The Void rocket will suppress. But theoretically, they're kind of shut down. And the Catalyst, which is obviously coming next season, completes the trifecta. Now, if we're going trifecta, that's got to be an arc that's got to be a light subclass. So it's got to be arc. If it suppresses, do you think it blinds or jolts?
Solar's going to do the Scorch. Solar Rock's going to do the Scorch. The Void's going to suppress. Bro, Jolt would be too beast. Like, Jolt it'd be busted.
Okay, but, like, if it's suppressed, does it need to be blinded? I mean, it's not, like, disoriented, but, like, what do you think the arc... Because those are really the only two options that it's going to do.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Suppression effect is the one where you're slow, they hold
That's
their
like
face.
Disoriented.
Right? That's what that is, right?
Well, that's disorient. Suppression is they can't use your abilities. Like, when we get suppressed... We can't use our jumps, our abilities, our grenades, that kind of stuff.
So
I can still
that
shoot and move.
I feel like a suppression. I'm talking about in terms of PvE enemy behavior, right? When we suppress, aren't they like? Or that's not like a blinding grenade effect. What does the suppress effect do to the enemy? I thought it did. Or maybe I got it wrong.
I mean, basically, it's going to stop them from like whether maybe it's throwing grenades or teleporting around or that kind of thing. But it's not like a blinding or disoriented. That is different.
Okay.
That's not suppression.
Different. Okay. So yeah, I'll go with blind. I'll go with blind.
Okay.
It would be because listen, I would love it to be Joe. Bro, Joe would be busted.
It'd be great though, wouldn't it?
Of course it'd be great.
No one has used. They made this weapon and no one's used it probably basically ever.
I've always liked Two Tail when it first came out. It's just like, damn, it
can't
got
even preview the whole weapon though. It's just like on the screen. It's like way too big.
Yeah, the velocity's good. Like Two Tail was always a lot of potential, and now so basically it's a solo rocket, and then an avoid rocket doing suppression, and now this other thing with the catalyst.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Already with just those two.
Yeah.
Solo
You're gonna be running strikes. Already. The only reason you run strikes in Crucible just to get your catalyst to drop.
Yeah, it's basically like a rocket version of Borealis and Hardlight in a way.
Yeah, it just does it all in one trigger pull, and I'm just like, all right, that'll be fun.
Yeah, dope.
If you can get me to use it, cool. Prometheus Lens, Incandescent, that's just too perfect. Grand Overture, switch the catalyst, now uses the arc blinding effect. So again, the missile launch will theoretically, like you have a missile launch, you could literally load that up, stun a champion, and then go back to your shots and just probably kill it.
Shout out to Prometheus, man. Incandescent is, whew. It's gonna be nice. I'll do a lot of Prometheus uses, and I love that. It's very Osirian. I love that. Trace.
Osmosis is gonna work with Strand. Shout out to Data, by the way. He's like, all right, everybody, calm down. Get ready. Osmosis gonna work with Strand. I loved his like fake hype up. It was hilarious.
His delivery is hilarious.
Elemental Capacitor is going to work with airborne effectiveness, which makes perfect sense. That's actually not too surprising. Rewind rounds from Vault are going to be rolling on more weapons, so that's going to be kind of a perk that you're going to see a little bit more. I've got that on the machine gun, and that's still one of my better legendary machine guns because Eager Edge, I think for those who like to use it, seems like it's fixed. I don't have the foggiest, but Twitter was like, seems like they did good things. Blinding grenades seems to basically be renamed to disorienting grenades. Now, this is one of those where I think they specifically don't want the blinding grenade to work like a stunning effect, like also be an unstop, but I feel like they just kind of wanted to make sure the blinding grenade breach loads that you have now don't just all qualify as unstop champions. I was kind of looking forward to that being an option, but sadly not.
They got us.
And then, we talked about Vice Stinger. Was a full reload. Now it's 25%.
So it was far superior.
It's the best one. Like most origin traits you could care less about, and you're like, sure, whatever. And then if it was Vice, you're like, all right. So, I mean, your funnel webs. You're like, so yeah, you're just gonna be looking for new stuff, but hopefully we get some cool new things. That's kind of the whole point.
Exactly.
So I mean, we have 3 TWABs left.
Yeah, 3 12s.
Have 3 or 2? No, we gotta have 3. Because it would be like 7th, 14th, 21st. Yeah.
Yep. 7th, 14th.
No, that can't be right. My dates are terrible.
9th, 16th, 23rd.
Yeah, 9th, 16th, 23rd. 23rd will be basics of like server downtime, all that fun stuff. Speaking of server downtime, it's down for 24 hours.
Oh, that's big.
So yeah, last week is going to be a 6-day week. You get 24 hours to do your thing. That's the biggest thing. Like the TWAB is like, they're going to be putting a fix for blues in to eliminate another source of blue engrams. Right now the blues are turning into purples, but they're still like giving you a crap load of purples. So now your postmaster is getting loaded up with purples. Their end game eventually is to kind of fix that overall. But if you're getting a lot of purples right now, I don't know, break them down, get some shards.
Yes.
But yeah, Lightfall maintenance is 24 hours beforehand. So if you are looking to do anything in that last week, just know that Monday is not going to count.
Yes, gear done.
24 hours, that might be one of the bigger downtimes they've had.
That's one of the biggest. I can't remember a full day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a chunky boy. You know, I expect a lot of it. Yeah, we're getting close. It is interesting. The keys to me now is going to be I'm with you. I want the strand breakdown, a little bit more of
I feel
that.
like we need that. Like,
I'm
I mean, they did it with Stasis big time. They were going through
yeah.
everybody's classes and grenades and verbs, and it was drawn out over a long time.
Mhm.
We've
I
got
want to
nothing yet.
I can't wait to see how it's in the 3.0 format, just to see all like the fragments and the things. That's what I want. I want to see how configurable is it. And also for your Titans, are there some cool options? I got a
Yeah.
question for you. When do you think
Oh, can't let me have more than 3 fragment slots? I swear, every time I set up a Titan, I do not have enough fragment slots. So yeah, I'd take a couple extra on this one, please. Anyway, go ahead.
no, I want you. When do you think like there are some subclasses that are still kind of locked, I believe, to one super? Do you
Oh,
think it may not?
Stasis?
Yeah, like do you? When do you think that evolution happens?
Oh, that would probably be final shape.
Shape, right? Yeah.
My guess. I mean, right now we're getting a whole subclass. They're not going to give us a Stasis subclass as well and pull away from it. I
Mhm.
would imagine if they do any kind of update on any of that kind of stuff, like maybe give us, because you go through an entire expansion, you got Stasis, we got Arc 3.0, Light 3, or Arc Void Solar 3.0s this past year. We're getting Strand. Final shape would be a time for your another Strand if they can come up with one, another Stasis one, kind of give you a little more variety for your last two. Again, if they're going to kind of put a pin in the Light and Dark saga, I don't know how they continue.
Yeah.
So that's the
That's gonna be
question.
interesting. Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
question.
that's the thing. Yeah, season 25. Like, I don't know. That is the
Mhm.
part of the game I am so curious about, and
Yeah,
I don't know how it goes.
because technically the game should theoretically change on its head, lore wise.
I mean, it feels like something major's got to go down. Like
Hmm.
like Earth blows up. We're out in the like different universe, not in our solar system. You lose all the planets. Do you keep like? Is the EDZ going to be here post final shape? Like, come on. Like, I feel like we need a shakeup. They said
You don't
Destiny
want
2 is going to live on though, so I'm also torn and
to. With where?
yeah, I don't have a clue what their plan's going to be, but it feels like going to be going on. But yeah, if you guys are ever wondering, it's like, oh, they're sunsetting. It's like they should have sunset before. But yeah,
Yeah, well, we gonna see.
couple
I
things I
can't
want to
wait.
clarify if you guys are listening to this.
Yes,
LFG
sir.
is probably not coming until around season 22. Maybe,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Like they literally
Oh
said they
yeah,
want.
me out of basket.
No. I've heard this in multiple like things. Like, hey, LFG is coming. I like stuff. Like, no, it's not. It is not coming with Lightfall.
Thanks for the
They
clarity.
said they wanted it before the free raid. That's 22. So my guess is they might be testing it in 21, maybe beta, maybe partway through
Ooh.
they'll soft launch. That kind of thing I could see in 21. It is not going to be with this one though. That is one of the
Got it.
biggest things that I want to just clarify to everybody when they're like, "Hey,
No, that's
where's my
big.
LFG?" It is not there.
That's big. No, I
Not
would have been
there.
caught out there. I'd have been on the picket line. Wait,
Yeah.
y'all say.
I'm like, you guys don't want to listen to the words that they say, but yes,
Mhm.
that is one of those things. It's like the ranks are coming, and I think that's just going to be check boxes of stuff. We're gonna log in. We're gonna have our 6 loadout options. Do a few more things. Probably get our 10. Um, I mean, so as we kind of wrap up,
Mhm.
the pretty into this game player. Chat, you guys are also there.
Mhm.
If you're gonna go and log into Destiny, what is the first YouTube video that you're going to look up? What is the thing that you know right now that sounds the most confusing?
As far as the information that's provided in reference
That
to
we've got so
Lightfall,
far. Mhm.
what's the first video?
What's the first thing that you're going to log in and be like, all right, somebody break this down for me, and you're going to go watch Cross, Data, whatever.
I'm just gonna say mods. That's a good question. There is so much fundamentally changing with the way armor and mods
Armor,
is
mods,
going.
loadouts. That's my
Yeah,
number one that I'm almost going
big.
to try and
Yeah,
make. Like,
yeah, that's the one.
and I think that's the biggest like question. Like, artifact is going to be passive. We know that's just going to be. We got to figure out
Mhm.
what the mods do, but they're going to be
Yeah.
passive for your resets. No big deal. We know Strand is going to be a subclass. You're going to get your hands on it. You're going to learn it. Like power leveling is a thing, but it's like I think the mods right now. It's like they told us loadouts are a thing,
Mhm.
but I think there's just so much of it until you like sit there and you look at your loadout screen
Mhm.
that there's just going to be a lot to digest. And I think that's going to be one of the things. Like I want to play the story, but I also need to stare at all these mods now. I was like, that's going to be the hardest thing for me, just in making content, I think, is going to be like, I want to understand mods, loadouts, builds, all of that fun stuff, kind of how it works in one thing. But on the other side, I'm just going to be like, I want to go play the campaign.
Yeah,
Now,
no,
but I
no,
will say
bro.
from what I've heard, I think anybody who plays with you is going to be very thankful for the the loadout system, because now they're not going to be like, all right, it's 15 minutes later and Cog is not done with his load. But
Yes,
honestly, even
yes.
for me, like,
Mm.
I'm giving you a hard time just because you said it before.
I am terrible.
But like, if
That's why
I'm
I'm
gonna go
bumping
like,
anyways.
if I'm gonna go solo flawless dungeon, I got a perfect setup for that. Save it. Then if I want to go play PvP and let me switch over to like my pulsar, just click, let it switch that stuff out, and it's because it's like, hey, I want pulsar. I half the time going to PvP, just one arm tied behind my back.
Yes.
Mostly because I'm not gonna go pulse rifle dexterity, pulse rifle targeting, and go double mods there and go for all of those things. I don't do that stuff because I'm just like, I'm gonna go play. I don't care. And now if I can finally set some stuff up like that, I think that's also one of the things I'm probably excited about, is just because like, bam. So.
No, it's huge because the quality of life, man. Like people don't realize it's those things that really make the
That'll be
experience
big.
better, and they're doing a lot of it, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm excited about. I'm also excited about for like the the font of might with the mod changes. Like for example, it's not subclass dependent anymore.
Correct.
So think about this, like I run font, I run the supreme well maker that gives.
Sounds right.
So now I don't have to be locked in like that. I mean, other people don't have to be locked in. That's a great change. It's going to change the way we play the game. There's so many quality of life things that they're doing that I think we're underestimating how much better the game is going to feel when these are implemented. Then you throw the loadouts on top of it and the other things they're doing. Then we talk about the sandbox on top of it and what they're doing. So that's the things I'm excited about. It's long overdue.
Feel kind of fresh.
Feel good. You know what I'm saying? And now just execute that story, execute that raid, and then I'll be a happy man. That's just where I'm at right now. And give me some excitement. Give me some twists.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Funny enough, I got my email that, hey, your service is restored, since my internet was out earlier, so that's fixed.
Thank you for letting me know while I'm on it.
Yeah. I was like, mine was done early, but they're like, hey, we're still working on it. I'm like, sorry for who was out of it like all day though, because I got lucky. Yeah, I will say, but somebody said it as well. And I'm gonna say this again.
What?
Loadouts sound fantastic, but I just care less and less and less about armor. An armor piece that drops. Most of them already suck on stats. We all know that. And if you're gonna go focus, this is what boggles my mind. Why did they allow you to spend a Crucible Engram on a piece of Crucible armor? Why is that even there?
Yeah,
that hurts me. That hurts me in the fact that somebody's probably wasted. That could be a weapon roll, but they're like, hey, let me get this. Why would you go after a piece of armor? It's all garbage.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
So it's like, so it's like the pieces of armor that drop, the stat, and maybe that's a big system they're working on in Final Shape, because that's kind of the final thing. But I was like, if you have, you need such little armor anymore, because now you don't need Arc, Solar, Void, State. You don't need any of it. Just loadouts is going to cover it all.
Zach Johnson preaching to the choir. Talk to him.
Set bonuses. I mean, set bonuses make stats matter. I don't know what, like, again, that's my final, because like loadouts, LFG, cool. Affinity's gone, cool. Match game, nice. Did not expect that one. Like they've, I mean, Kinetic getting a little Kinetic love. Free transmog, I would appreciate that. Actually, that would be nice. Yeah, probably one of the biggest things they can do for a surprise for all of this. We said it last week. Monetization, simplification.
Meaning,
make some of those old campaigns free. Damn it, Forsaken pack should not exist. I don't know how much Bungie you guys are making. If I can see the balance sheets, I would love to know how much the Forsaken pack, how much the Shadowkeep pack, and Lightfall is now going to be 2 years old, and that is the only way to get stasis. But yeah, and the fact that we have a limit on like transmog is one thing, but like that's like the little monetization, like nitpicks here and there. But just the expansions, let people jump into this game and let people have a decent chunk of content to play. If you want to play the new stuff, I can kind of get it.
Mhm.
Like, discount Witch Queen, make it a sale. Lightfall's full. The old stuff, free.
Mhm.
If they want to bring people in,
Yeah, because you know who just did that? Shout out to Elder
Elder
Scrolls
Scrolls, they made
Online.
everything,
Yeah,
right?
every past they coming out with Necrom, the new
Yep.
content, and every past DLC now, boom, free, available to all players. Like, bro, you got to do it because you segmented your base. Just clean the slate. I agree.
Yeah.
I hate that barrier of entry because I got people like Maddie. It's like, Cog, I want to play it, but I want to play it from start to
Yeah,
finish.
well,
Or
you
what I
can't even do
missed.
that per se,
You
but
can't even do that with
as,
Red Bull. I
as
told him
best
that.
as you can,
As
at
best as you
least.
can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why, yeah, they definitely need to do that. I would love to see them increase these numbers. What I'm hoping is, but then we are getting close. It should have been announced already. I mean, maybe they try to get the pre-order note. They try to wait to the last minute. Then
Well,
make
they don't
some
even have
announcement.
what is the deluxe edition's $100?
Yeah.
I mean, they should make it to where, like, if you want everything in Destiny, do it 120. And if you want the full year of Lightfall, and $20 covers everything from previous. Like, make it the tiniest little bundle if you want to sell it for something. But literally, Witch Queen and older should be a bundle. Put a cap on it, like it's a year old.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even buying a subclass there.
Bro,
You're like,
at minimum, I'm not to cut you. I'm sorry.
no.
At minimum, Stasis should not be paywall behind that.
Correct.
Like, stop being petty with Stasis, bro.
Yeah.
Like, give that up. Like, it's beyond. When did Beyond Light drop now? When was it? 2 years ago. We really charging dudes for a stub class? Like, that's crazy.
That is the only. That's why you tell somebody to go buy Beyond Light.
Yeah,
I mean, Deep Stone Crypt has some purpose again now with some of the weapons, but that's literally it.
It's like, but
Witch Queen's a cool. But the 30th anniversary, that's still a piece that you can do an add-on for, and I'm like, that's a dungeon. You're literally buying one dungeon for $25, and a dungeon key for 2, and this season is going to be 20.
Yeah, way too many monetization models, and my thing is, at what point is there a cutoff? Is there we just in perpetuity you going to be
like
paying?
everything is like that's the stuff I want to see fixed. Because I mean, if they want to build the player base back up, and if you want me to tell somebody to be like, hey, pretty easy to get into this now. They've made the new player experience very streamlined, understandable. You're not bombarded by 50 pop-ups and 50 cinematics that you don't understand. And it's one package. It's $30. Here's a bunch of old stuff. You can check it out, see if you like it. A lot of content. And then if you want the new one, then you can do that $100 deluxe. Go enjoy all the new stuff that we got. That's everything for the entire year. Lightfall, everything. Cool. That gets you Strand. But like, if they feel like they do want, that legacy bundle needs to get updated every year. Whatever that legacy, everything bundled in it, and that's it. I don't want to see 4 different things that you have to buy anymore. That is probably the worst thing for me. Like,
no, agreed.
That's the one piece. Like, for anybody that I could tell to play it, that would probably be the one. So if they can surprise with something like that, cool. Do I see it? No, but could I? Love to? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the shot in the arm.
Yeah, it's due. Well, they're putting Beyond Light in PlayStation Plus.
I peeped that.
I don't know if that's actually officially out there. I saw the rumor of it, but it seems like they're usually pretty accurate. If it's not official, I think it might be. What is that?
And then like Xbox and the other are getting something else too.
Are they?
Yeah, like PlayStation's getting Beyond Light, and then I saw some other. I saw that same article you saw. Whatever you saw, I saw that.
Game Pass. Because it was on Game Pass, then it came off. Like,
but it can't come to Game Pass now because they're quiet.
Oh no, I know. Yeah,
not we. You know how they feel about Game Pass. They've been clear. So yeah, but it was something I did see in reference to it.
Yeah, because I hadn't seen that one. I figure I would have actually seen that.
What is it? PlayStation Plus. All right, let's see. Yeah, I remember seeing something. Okay, free state. Okay, here we go. Well, Tassie has it. Update.
I was like, because honestly, I hadn't heard, so this will be some news.
Yeah, update says does not carry over the cross save. I think it was maybe an addition thing. Yeah, okay, so basically that just went live is Beyond Light, that Witch Queen Deluxe Edition is now down $20 on Xbox, down from 80. and that includes the expansion, duality, spire dungeons, permanent content, all 4 seasons for the past year. Now, apparently, that's Xbox only right now.
What is it again?
The Witch Queen Deluxe Edition price reduction is down. Is now just $20 on Xbox.
The deluxe? Oh, that's the whole year. If you want to burn through the entire year of content in 3 weeks, I guess good luck. You're going to be living in that game.
Which is weird is PlayStation and Steam currently do not have that right now. But it could be later. Yeah.
I'm looking at the PlayStation Store. Oh my god, the PlayStation website for Bungie is actually like the PlayStation website for Destiny is like Bungie.net. It is. There's a lot of this is. I mean, granted, I know they bought the company, but here's expansions. Buy expansions. Oh yeah, that's all full price. 30th anniversary is 24. Let me list this off for you guys, and this is why. 30th anniversary is 24. Beyond Light is $29.99.
Really?
So it's only $5 more. The 30th anniversary is $5 cheaper than an expansion.
It should. Wow.
Forsaken Pack. That's just like the raid, the dungeon, and some exotics. $20. Shadowkeep is $25. Shadowkeep is the same as 30th anniversary.
Hey, wow, right? Nobody buying Shadowkeep like that. Like, they gotta stop with this, bro.
Witch Queen Deluxe is still sitting at $80. Can you imagine paying $80 right now for that thing?
They try to get that campaign money back.
But you buy that Witch Queen Deluxe and everything in that helm goes away in like 4 weeks.
Bro, they gotta fix this model. It's all over the place. It's all over the place, bro.
I'm like a year of Lightfall with the annual pass, the dungeons for $100. I am totally fine with the one bundle every year. I get that. I'm totally good, but no, that's gotta stop.
Yeah, because my thing is, even when the Lightfall bundle comes out, you can't be still charging all this stuff for the old bundles, bro. Like, this is old content. Like, come on.
Yeah, the struggle is real. Well, I was telling my wife that this might be a 90-minute podcast just because it's the two of us. And sure enough, it's a 2-hour show.
Flashpoint days, baby.
Yeah, apparently we're still good at it. But we had some good discussion in here as usual. Yeah, well, if you want to jump in, maybe Xbox is the place to do it right now.
PlayStation Plus deal is fantastic. Though.
PlayStation, the Beyond Light? Yeah, I mean, if you can, because PlayStation Plus, if it's part of it, you can add that to your library, and then theoretically, permanently, you have stasis. So if you play on PlayStation, I think it's probably in about a week when the 7th or 8th, I think is when it comes. Yeah, definitely make sure you add that to your library so you permanently just have stasis, whether you have Destiny or not. At least you'll have stasis in case they keep charging you. Hold on to that one.
Exactly. Don't let them take your stasis.
Yep.
What's your wildest prediction for Lightfall story? Ooh.
My wildest prediction is that.
What you think?
I like somewhere in the idea of us losing our powers. That's like an interesting one, but they've done that before, so I don't know if they would just like lean on the same trope per se. No, I honestly like my wildest prediction is that Zavala sacrifices himself for Caiatl in some way. That's probably my biggest one. To lose Zavala, but as a sacrificial thing for Caiatl, and then Caiatl gets revenge on like Callus and like something like that. Like somehow Zavala does something for Caiatl because they have that platonic love. There's something there. We know that. And like leaders of their two, like whatever, he does something. That would be my ridiculous one. That's like, the gut wrenching, twist the knife, shooting Cade. Like that would be a big one because.
All right.
That's the crazy one.
Mine would be my wildest prediction. Would be a very cool Savathun reappearance.
I could see. I think that's going to be a season. That. That would be crazy. I think that's a season. I think that's. That has to happen because obviously the ghost is. But I think that's a season because if Savathun gets in the mix of this one, I feel like it's too soon. I feel like Savathun's part of the seasonal build-up to final shape. I feel like that's because Savathun and Zevo Wrath gotta link.
But it would be interesting because it feels like Zevo Wrath has us locked in, has us boxed in. And then you know, so let's say they don't do the steal the light stuff from us because they don't want to red war us again, right? But they do like all like Callus, the new disciple, Zevil Wrath boxed in, the witness is really, and then it'd be like Sabathun, the unlikely hero. Like that would be kind of fire to me. So again, we'll see what happens. Again, I may be too early.
Now, do you think there's anything? Final question: do you think there's anything drastic happening in this final activity? You got Rasputin, you got the Traveler, you got the Warsats, you got Zevil. Like, is Rasputin gonna make it? Is the Traveler gonna make it? Are we gonna hang out in the helm? Are we gonna be in the tower? Is there anything ridiculous you guys like? I mean, I'm going big, like Tower, Traveler. Rasputin's part of the season. Something's probably happening there. I just don't know what. But like, any big grand, like what shoves us into Lightfall?
Yeah. The details are what's curious. Let's set it off. It's gotta involve Rasputin. You know, it's got to. Shout out to my man Ty from blog there. He's big on the law. He's like, Cog, I'm reading this law. Is like Rasputin ain't gonna make it. So how is it an ultimate sacrifice type situation? Is it, you know, we're again like destroyed and it's gonna be whatever's gonna happen. It's gonna be brutal for Anna Bray.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be happy about anything that happens.
Yeah, she ain't gonna be happy about what happened, but we got that. And then, of course, you know my Osiris laws. I want to get his redemption because he's not trusted for obvious reasons, and because of the lore of the dungeon, this was the big win. He gets to tell Ikora, look, I told you something is cooking, and now we know about Nemo. Now we know about this whole secret thing. So my guess is some cataclysmic event with Rasputin. We'll see if he saves us, sacrifice, and then the Osiris lead-in. Because Osiris is in the damn promotional artwork. I told you.
He's going to be there.
So how that goes, and then selfishly, if you want to give my man Strand, you know, if you want to give it to him, you know, I would.
Darkness power, not a light imbued power.
Hey, he undrank the Nest Cafe. He made his system.
Yeah.
Maybe be ready for it. So if you want to give a man that, I'll be happy not to have the light no more. So that's Cog's selfish storyline.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Selfish storyline.
No, I mean it does seem like Rasputin's between a rock and a hard place. I feel like if he self-destructs somehow, he can't be used as a tool. So as you said, that kind of a sacrifice thing. I don't want it to be like Clovis, somebody said it. I don't want Callus to like come back and try and take over and pull some weird stuff, and then I don't know if I want Clovis involved at this point. I want Rasputin because he's got his humanity side to him. The pieces that I want him to make the decision on his own. I don't want him to be in some like Ultron Jarvis like struggle, and then him like sacrifice himself in his war set now, and he sends a signal just like everything self-destruct so he can't be used badly. See what I'm saying? Like, you know, remember like
I got you.
Ultron and Jarvis, you know, they're like the two AIs talking to each other. And again, I think that would be something to where if he feels like threatened or like he has like some final signal, he just goes, I'm out. And he's like, this is my decision and I'm done. And I can't be used against you or for you. But like Zevo or Wrath like could be a thing. So it's like that's my guess of how it could go, but what do I know?
You may be onto something because he alluded to making decisions in the past based on like pure logic versus actual humanity. You may be onto something right there.
Yeah, we'll see. Only a couple weeks out from that one anyway. So 2 weeks from now we'll be discussing whatever this activity is. So
yeah. Can't wait.
We will see. All right, everybody. Well, this one went longer than I thought it would. But chat, you guys have been absolutely fire. So thank you guys for being here tonight. If you guys did enjoy the show, please drop a like on the video. If you guys watch us on Spotify or YouTube, please leave a positive... and scratching my throat. A positive review. Yeah, if I can just get a sip of water here. Good God.
Hit the boy up with that advance, man. You need that advance again. You need to focus.
What'd you have today?
So we're doing the Bloodhound Orange. We're doing an orange. You know what I'm saying? It's this one
lives on my desk.
You know, it's good. It's
okay.
good.
I got all of them over there. And then I got ones that live on my desk and stare at me. Do you have like a separate group that is like, hey, I got my collection in the cabinet, and I got my easy access.
My favorite children. Yeah, it's blood, orange, obviously sour, watermelon, grape, Spartacus blood. I know you don't like coconut, but
yeah, it's just the aftertaste for me. That's the only thing that gets me on that one.
Outer, yeah, man, that's my joint. And then it's all about the gummies. It's all about the gummies, man. I got my multivitamins on. You know how I do. What's going on with you, E?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much I think all we got. So, well, thank you guys for being here. Yeah, my flavors are half the same. I got strawberry lemonade, sour watermelon, blood orange, sour green apple, and Korean apple both. I love the apple. I love apples. So,
all right, apples,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Quick outro for you. Any crazy guests or anything coming, or just all the go? Subscribe the $5 to Last Stand Media. You get your early access to like Constellation now, which is great discussions. You guys over just some random topics, but you guys go deep on them, which is good. Defining Duke, Sacred Symbols, the pluses on both. Like, yeah, go. It's worth it. Gives you like gets you through your week.
I'm seeing people hit me up. Just joined the Constellation gang. You know what I mean? So we've been doing that. We pull back on Ultimate a little bit, so I can have a little Constellation, just be 2 shows a week, so I don't go crazy. Me and Maddie don't go crazy with our schedules. But go check that out. Defining Duke is up now. I had a good one. Some fun Oreo discussion. Some weird things people do with Oreos. We found out. Yeah,
going people. I listened to that.
You got to listen to this week's. Dudes are doing real psychopathic things with Oreos. Like, I'm just finding out what people are doing. I'm like, what?
What's the weirdest thing you've done with an Oreo?
I'm the most basic, like, bro, I just...
No, but I mean, have you even taken apart, like, 3 of them, tried to make, like, a quadruple cream or something like that? Have you ever...
All right, greedy boy stuff, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all the cream, sure, yeah.
Yeah, all the cream.
Oops, all cream.
We're done now. We
got demonetized right here at the end of the show.
Travis energy that seeked in. So, look, we got that. Just, the thing is, people are, like, taking the cream out and then like rolling it up in a ball, or people are like crushing Oreos into it and putting it into a container and drinking. I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing?
Oh yeah, the one person who had the not quite a milkshake, I'm like, you're a serial killer. All right, that's clear.
You need to be institutionalized with that behavior.
Yeah,
and this, we got
Don't
that.
make a normal Oreo milkshake like they're amazing. Don't not. That one hurt my head too. That was good.
Yeah, that was wild. We had a good Pop-Tart discussion. That was good.
What?
And, I don't want to spoil it.
Pop-Tarts or toaster strudel for you, by the way?
That's tough. What's for you?
The toaster strudel's a better pastry.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm not.
I mean, half the time because I don't find the Pop-Tart flavor. Like the old go-to is either cherry or brown sugar. Cherry or brown sugar.
With the strawberry? You don't do that one?
That's my wife's.
Yeah.
My wife's is frosted strawberry. I like frosted cherry and brown sugar. But the one actually I like more than all of them and I never find anymore is apple pie.
Apple pie. Yeah.
That's one of mine. But they don't make it. I've seen cinnamon roll that's been pretty good. But toaster strudel, it's a different texture. You got the icing on top and it's just the freshness, the fluffy. It's just a better pastry. It's not just like, it's a better pastry.
So we had a good discussion. Check out Defining Duke. It was hilarious. We really talked about that stuff as well as gaming and what's going on.
Yeah,
we got that. IOP, no big guests this week. We might have some stuff cooking, but I don't want to spoil it yet. I don't want to jinx it. But this week's kind of just back with the Lords because we had 2 guests in a row back to back, trying to balance that out. Just the Lords, talk about all the stuff going on. We got God of War selling what it's selling. We got
11 million or something. It did.
Yeah, something crazy. We got so much good news to talk about. And Jacob, I got Mr. Maddie clearly into pumpkin spice favorite Oreos. Yeah. I didn't even know about red velvet Oreos. I was like, bro, I'm a red velvet guy.
Oh, I know you are.
Bro, I didn't even know about that. So anyway,
I got check that out. One of my favorite Oreos, and they're always limited, is apple cider donut Oreos. My favorite.
Ooh, that sounds apple. That makes sense.
I mean, but like they nailed that flavor. Like sometimes you're like, hey, you got like dark chocolate or chocolate peanut butter pie or whatever. But I'm like apple cider donut, and I'm just like, it's like a cinnamon for an Oreo. Best one.
What's funny is I put Maddie on to he never heard of Uh-Ohs.
Oh,
which is made by Oreo, which is the opposite Oreo, which is basically you got the 2 white.
Yeah. Have you had the Cakesters?
Nah, what's that?
So it's like a softer cookie on either side of like the Oreo. Go look, find they're in the cookie aisle. Oreo cakesters. You don't need to get me talking. We're going to be here for an hour if we talk about desserts.
Yeah, it's about food. This is not health as well.
Yeah, this is the opposite of health as well. This is cheap. This is cheap meals.
I've been good for the last like 5 years of not being in a cookie section, and messing with you and Maddie is dangerous.
I'm just saying.
Yep, it came up cakesters.
They exist.
Oh, this is obesity from Cog. Oh, this is how good that look, yo.
Yeah.
And look how they try to sell it. As soon as I clicked on it, they like, give me your delivery address so we can ship it.
We're gonna shove them in your face. Here you go,
bro. Like, nah, I can't. This with the soft bake, yo. Is it like really?
It's soft.
Oh, that look good. I already know that's dangerous.
Yeah,
okay, I got to get out of this section. This is evil. This is bad. This is not health as well. I got to go eat my gummies. I got to stay away. This is danger.
Just don't eat all the gummies. Not all in one sitting.
I have no discipline. I have no discipline with stuff like that. I'll eat a whole box of that.
Oh no, I'm just as bad. Yeah, I'll get like a bag of whatever. Anyway, yeah, for me, I'm just gonna try and cover any game that I can fit in before Lightfall, and then Lightfall, you know, it's hard Destiny. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get my solo flawless Spire. I have to get it done because all these sandbox changes, like my loadout right now, kind of has to like I got to get it done because one of them is my Taipan on the roof. Like I can 4-phase him by myself on the roof on the top of the Spire. I can 4-phase him with Taipan.
Damn.
Well, because I weaken clear, and I use now the one that nobody ever guesses what I use to clear everything. I'm using Osteostriga until the final boss.
Ooh, Osteo's good there. Yeah, that's a great choice.
Well, because I kill one of the like pod of 4 goblins. I kill one. The poison gets him, and I have like 99 or 90 bullets or whatever to shoot all the eyes. So I can solo it without reloading. Grenade, step back into my bubble, and then like Taipan. I can go through about 13, 14 shots. I can do it in 4-phase. I haven't 3-phased it yet. I can only done 4, but
it's a great setup.
It's comfy. It's easy. It works. So yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Episode number 235. Cog and I #Flashpoint. Thank you guys very much. If you listen to this one, tweet us with #Flashpoint, and we are at the end of the episode. It has been the last word.
The last word, aka Flashpoint.